Assistance with digital resources. I'm having trouble accessing an ebook. It keeps asking me for a password.
Are you using your university login credentials?
Yes, but it's still not working.
Sometimes there are technical glitches. Try clearing your browser cache and cookies.
Okay, I'll try that. If it still doesn't work, what should I do?
Contact the library's IT support. They can usually help you troubleshoot the problem.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. Digital resources can be tricky sometimes.
Coping with study burnout.
I'm so burnt out. I can't even look at my textbooks anymore.
I know the feeling. Have you taken any breaks lately?
Not really. I've just been pushing myself to keep going.
That's probably why you're burnt out. You need to schedule some time for relaxation.
Easier said than done with all these deadlines.
Even a short walk or listening to music can help. Or maybe grab a coffee with a friend.
You're right. I should probably step away for a bit. Thanks for the reminder.
Taking care of yourself is just as important as studying.
Discussing research strategies.
I'm feeling so overwhelmed with this research project. Where do I even start?
Have you tried breaking it down into smaller tasks? Maybe start with a literature review.
I've started, but there's just so much information.
Try using keywords and Boolean operators like and or to narrow your search results.
Boolean operators? I've never heard of those.
They help you refine your search. And finds articles with both terms. OR finds articles with either term.
That's really helpful. I'll definitely try that. Thanks.
Also, don't be afraid to ask the librarians for help. They're experts at research.
Finding a quiet study spot.
Ugh, this place is packed. Any idea where I can find a quiet study spot?
Have you tried the graduate student section on the 3rd floor? It's usually pretty quiet there.
No, I haven't. Is it open to undergraduates?
Officially, no, but no one really checks. Just be respectful.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Thanks.
Alternatively, the individual study carrels near the back are sometimes available.
Good to know. I'll check both places.
Navigating the library layout.
I'm completely lost. Do you know where the periodicals section is?
Sure, it's on the 2nd floor, past the main reference desk. Just follow the signs.
Okay, 2nd floor. Is there an elevator?
Yeah, it's right next to the entrance. Or you can take the stairs.
Great, thanks. And where are the computers located?
There's a computer lab on the 1st floor, near the cafe.
Perfect. You've been a lifesaver. Preparing for exams in the library.
I'm so stressed about these upcoming exams. I need to find a good place to study.
The library is a good option. Plenty of resources and quiet spaces.
Yeah, but it's always so crowded during exam season.
True. Try going early in the morning to snag a good spot. And bring earplugs.
Good idea. I should probably also bring snacks and water.
Definitely. And maybe a study buddy to keep you motivated.
That's a great idea. I'll see if anyone's available.
Requesting interlibrary loans.
I need a book for my research paper, but our library doesn't have it. Have you considered requesting an interlibrary loan? Interlibrary loan? What's that? Basically, they borrow it from another library for you. It's free. Wow, really? How do I do that? Go to the library website and search for the book. If it's not available, there should be a link to request it through interlibrary loan. Awesome. I'll look into that right away. Thanks. No problem. It usually takes about a week to arrive.
Reserving a study room. We need to find a place to work on our group project. Any ideas?
Let's try reserving a study room at the library.
Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, you can usually do it online through the library website.
Okay, I'll check it out. Do they have different sizes?
Yep, some are smaller for a few people, others are larger for bigger groups.
Perfect. Hopefully, we can find one that's available.
If not, we can try the common areas, but they can be noisy.
Understanding citation styles. I'm so confused about citation styles. MLA APA Chicago. It's all a mess.
Tell me about it. It's important to get them right, though, to avoid plagiarism.
I know, but how do I keep track of everything?
The library has style guides for each one. You can find them online or in the reference section.
Okay, I'll look for those. Are there any websites that can help too?
Definitely. Purdue OWL is a great resource for MLA and APA.
Purdue OWL, I'll write that down, thanks.
And citation management tools like Zotero or Mendeley can help you organize your sources and generate citations automatically.
Using library databases.
I need to find some scholarly articles for my paper, but Google Scholar isn't cutting it.
Have you tried using the library databases?
I've heard of them, but I don't really know how they work.
They're specialized search engines that index academic journals and other scholarly resources.
So, they're better than Google Scholar?
For academic research, definitely. They often provide access to articles that you'd have to pay for otherwise.
Okay, where do I find them?
On the library website. They're usually organized by subject area.
Balancing library study with social life.
I'm spending so much time in the library lately. I feel like I'm missing out on everything.
I get that. It's important to find a balance. Try scheduling study sessions with friends so you can be productive and social.
That's a good idea. We could quiz each other.
Exactly. Or plan a fun activity for after you finish studying. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, that would definitely help. It's hard to stay motivated when I feel like I'm sacrificing everything else.
Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Taking breaks and having a social life will actually help you study better in the long run.
Thanks, I needed to hear that.
Comparing different study methods.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to study for this history exam. Flashcards aren't really working for me.
Have you tried the Feynman technique? You explain the concept in simple terms as if you're teaching it to someone.
No, I haven't. Does that really help?
It forces you to identify gaps in your understanding. Or maybe try mind mapping, visualizing the connections between different topics.
Mind mapping sounds interesting. I'm more of a visual learner.
Give it a shot. Everyone learns differently. Experiment until you find what clicks.
Thanks, I will.
Good luck. Dealing with a difficult research topic.
I'm completely stuck on my research paper. I can't find any relevant information on my topic.
Have you tried breaking down your topic into smaller, more specific keywords?
Yeah, but I'm still not finding much.
Maybe you need to broaden your search and look at related fields. Sometimes the information is there, just under a different label.
That's a good point. I've been focusing too narrowly.
Also, don't be afraid to change your topic slightly if you're really struggling. It's better to write a good paper on a slightly different topic than a bad paper on your original one.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks.
Dealing with library anxiety. I get so overwhelmed every time I come to the library. It's just so big and there are so many resources.
I understand. It can be intimidating. Have you tried breaking it down into smaller tasks?
Like what?
Maybe just focus on finding one specific book or article each visit, instead of trying to master everything at once.
That actually sounds manageable. And maybe asking a librarian for help, even with something small?
Exactly. They are there to help, and they can point you in the right direction. Don't be afraid to ask.
Okay, I'll try that next time. Thanks.
No problem. We all feel that way sometimes.
Effective use of study breaks. I take breaks when I study, but I still feel drained. Am I doing something wrong?
What do you do during your breaks? Scrolling through social media can actually be more tiring.
Guilty as charged. What should I be doing instead?
Try getting up and moving around, doing some stretching, or going for a short walk, something that gets your blood flowing.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm usually just sitting in a different position.
Also, try to avoid looking at screens during your breaks. Give your eyes a rest.
I'll try that. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. Hope it helps.
Evaluating academic journals.
I'm trying to find credible sources for my research paper, but I'm not sure which journals are reputable.
Look for journals that are peer-reviewed. That means other experts in the field have evaluated the research before it was published.
How can I tell if a journal is peer-reviewed?
You can usually find that information on the journal's website or by searching for it in a database like Ulrich's Web.
Okay, I'll check that out. Anything else I should look for?
Also, consider the journal's impact factor. It's a measure of how often articles from the journal are cited by other researchers.
That's helpful. Thanks for the tips.
Finding motivation for studying.
I just can't seem to get motivated to study. I keep putting it off.
I know the feeling. Have you tried setting small, achievable goals?
Like what?
Like, I'm going to study for 30 minutes and then take a break. It's less daunting than thinking about studying for hours.
That's a good idea. I tend to get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of material.
Also, try rewarding yourself after you reach a goal, like watching an episode of your favorite show.
Okay, I can definitely get behind that. Thanks.
Good luck, you got this.
The ethics of resource sharing.
Hey, can I borrow your notes from yesterday's lecture? I missed it.
Sure, but I don't have a perfect record. I was a little distracted.
No worries. Anything is better than nothing. Thanks a lot.
Just make sure you're not just relying on my notes. You should still try to get the information from somewhere else, like the textbook.
Definitely. I'll look over the chapter too. I just need a starting point.
Cool. And promise me you won't share them with anyone else without asking me first.
Deal. I appreciate it. Understanding academic honesty policies.
I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing something in my paper.
The key is to cite everything properly. If you're unsure, it's always better to oversight than undercite.
But what if I paraphrase something? Do I still need to cite it?
Yes, even if you put it in your own words, if the idea came from somewhere else, you need to give credit.
Okay, that makes sense. What about common knowledge?
That's the tricky part. If it's something widely known and accepted, you don't need to cite it. But if you're unsure, cite it anyway.
Good advice. Thanks.
Using the library for language learning. I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I was wondering if the library has any resources for that.
Definitely. They have language learning software, textbooks, and even Spanish language movies and books.
Wow, that's great. I didn't realize they had so much.
They might also have conversation groups or language exchange partners you can connect with.
That would be amazing. Practicing speaking is the hardest part.
Ask at the information desk. They can point you to the relevant resources and programs.
Will do. Thanks so much.
Comparing different library branches.
Have you been to the downtown library branch before?
Yeah, a few times. I prefer this one, it's quieter.
Really? I thought the downtown one had more resources.
It does, but it's always so crowded. Hard to concentrate.
That's a good point. I value the quiet atmosphere here more.
Plus, this branch has better coffee in the cafe.
Okay, you've convinced me. This is the Superior Library. Comparing note-taking methods.
I'm trying to improve my note-taking. What method do you use? I swear by the Cornell method. It helps me organize my notes and review them later. Cornell method? I've heard of it, but never tried it. You divide the page into sections for notes, cues, and a summary. It's really effective. I usually just write everything down in a linear fashion, which gets messy. Yeah, that can be overwhelming. Maybe try outlining or mind mapping instead. I think I'll give the Cornell method a shot. Thanks for the suggestion.
Debating the merits of physical versus digital books. I really prefer physical books. There's just something about the feel of them.
I'm the opposite. Digital books are so much more convenient, especially for research.
But you can't annotate as easily, and the battery can die.
You can annotate digitally, and I always have a charger. Plus, I can carry hundreds of books on one device.
True, but I find it easier to remember where things are in a physical book.
That's fair. It's really just a matter of personal preference, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Both have their pros and cons.
Exactly. What matters is what works for you.
Discussing preferred study music genres.
What kind of music do you listen to when you're studying? Usually something instrumental, like classical or ambient music. Lyrics distract me. That makes sense. I try lo-fi hip-hop. It's chill, but keeps me awake. I've heard that's good. Does it actually help you focus? Yeah, mostly. Sometimes I switch to white noise if I really need to concentrate. White noise is a good idea. I might try that sometime. Give it a shot. It really drowns out distractions.
Discussing the benefits of different study locations within the library. I'm finding it hard to concentrate here, in the main area.
Yeah, it can get noisy. Have you tried the individual study carrels on the third floor?
No. Are they quiet?
Super quiet. Or there's the reading room, but that's usually pretty full.
Maybe I'll check out the chorales. I need complete silence right now.
Good luck. Let me know if they work for you.
Will do. Thanks for the tip.
Discussing the best library snacks.
I'm starving. What snacks did you bring to the library today?
I've got some trail mix and an apple. Nothing too noisy or messy.
Smart. I brought chips, which probably wasn't the best idea.
Yeah, crunchy foods are a library faux pas. Maybe save those for later?
Definitely. I'll stick to my water bottle for now. Any recommendations for next time?
Nuts, granola bars, fruit, anything quiet and easy to eat.
Okay, noted. I'll plan better next time. Thanks.
Seeking recommendations for reliable research databases.
I'm struggling to find reliable sources for my research paper.
Have you tried using the library's research databases?
I've used a couple, but they don't seem to have what I need. Any recommendations?
It depends on your topic, but JSTOR and ProQuest are generally good starting points.
Okay, I'll check those out. Anything more specific for history?
Historical Abstracts is great for history. And don't forget Google Scholar, but filter the results carefully.
Great, thanks for the advice. I appreciate it. Sharing experiences with library events and workshops.
Did you see the library is hosting a workshop on academic writing next week?
Oh, really? I might check that out. Have you been to any library events before?
Yeah, I went to a lecture on local history last month. It was surprisingly interesting.
That sounds cool. I usually just come here to study, but I should explore their events more.
They often have free workshops and lectures. It's a great resource.
I'll definitely look into it. Thanks for reminding me.
No problem. Maybe we can go to the writing workshop together?
Sharing tips for staying focused during long study sessions.
I'm having trouble concentrating. How do you stay focused during long study sessions? The Pomodoro technique helps me. 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes break. I've heard of that. Does it really work? For me, yes. It prevents burnout. Also, minimizing distractions is key. Like putting your phone away? Exactly. And closing unnecessary tabs on your computer. Good point. I'll try the Pomodoro technique. Thanks for the advice.
Understanding library maps and floor plans. Hey, do you know where the history section is? I'm completely lost.
Yeah, let's check the floor plan near the entrance. It usually shows the layout.
Good idea. I always forget those exist. I just wander aimlessly.
Me too sometimes, but the map is a lifesaver. See, history is on the second floor, west wing.
Okay, second floor, west wing. Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
No problem, and the restrooms are marked too, just in case.
Even better. This map is incredibly useful.
Accessing ebooks remotely.
I'm trying to access an ebook from home, but it's asking me for a password. Do you know how that works?
You'll need to log in using your library card number and usually your student ID or a PIN.
Okay, I tried my student ID, but it's not working.
It might be a separate PIN you set up when you got your library card, or sometimes it defaults to your birth date.
Ah, okay. I'll try my birth date. If that doesn't work, what should I do?
Contact the library's IT support or the reference desk. They can reset your PIN or help troubleshoot the issue.
Perfect. Thanks so much for the advice.
Asking for research help.
I'm completely stuck on my research paper. I don't even know where to start looking for sources.
Have you considered asking a librarian for help? They're experts at research and can guide you.
I feel a bit intimidated asking for help. I don't want to seem clueless.
Don't be! That's literally their job. They're there to help students navigate the research process.
Okay, that makes me feel a bit better. Do I just walk up to the information desk?
You can, or some libraries offer research consultations where you can book a dedicated time to meet with a librarian.
That sounds even better. I'll check if they offer that. Thanks for the encouragement.
Finding academic journals. I'm struggling to find relevant academic journals for my thesis. Any tips?
Start with the library's databases. They're usually organized by subject area.
I've tried a few, but I'm still getting overwhelmed by the number of results.
Try using more specific keywords and filters. Most databases allow you to narrow down your search by date, publication type, and methodology.
Good point. I haven't been using the filters effectively.
Also, check the cited by section of articles you find useful. It can lead you to other relevant research.
That's a great tip. I hadn't thought of that. Thanks.
Lost and found procedures.
Oh no, I think I left my headphones at my study table. Do you know what the library's lost and found policy is?
I believe they have a designated lost and found at the front desk. You should check there first.
Okay, thanks. Do they keep items for a long time? Or is it a quick turnover?
I think they hold on to things for about a month before donating them. So the sooner you check, the better.
That's good to know. I'll head over there now. Fingers crossed, they're still there.
Good luck. I hope you find them.
Me too. Thanks again for the info.
Navigating the reference section.
I'm trying to find a specific encyclopedia for my history paper, but I'm completely lost in the reference section.
The reference section can be overwhelming. Are you looking for something general or specialized?
It's a specialized encyclopedia on Roman history.
Okay, usually those are organized by subject. Look for signs or ask a librarian where the history section is within the reference area.
That makes sense. I was just wandering aimlessly.
Yeah, it's easy to do. Once you find the history section, look for the encyclopedia subsection. They're often alphabetized by title.
Great, I'll try that. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. Happy to help.
Suggesting book purchases.
I really need this specific academic book for my research, but the library doesn't have it. Can I suggest they buy it? Yes, most libraries have a process for suggesting purchases. Look on their website for a suggest a purchase form or something similar. Okay, I'll search for that. Do they actually consider those suggestions? They do. They'll consider factors like the book's relevance to the curriculum, its cost, and its availability from other libraries. That's good to know. I was worried it would just disappear into a black hole. Definitely worth a try. The more specific you are in your suggestion, the better. Thanks for the encouragement. I'll fill out the form today.
Understanding library event schedules.
I heard the library hosts some interesting events. Where can I find a schedule?
They usually post it on their website, under the Events or Calendar section.
Okay, I'll look there. Do they usually have workshops related to studying?
Yeah, often they'll have workshops on things like time management, research skills, or citation management.
That sounds really helpful. Are they usually free?
Most library events are free, especially for students, but it's always good to double-check the event details.
Great. I'll definitely check out the schedule. Thanks. Understanding loan periods.
How long can I usually borrow books for at the library?
It depends on the type of book and your student status. Usually, standard books are for 2 to 3 weeks.
What about textbooks? Are those different?
Textbooks often have shorter loan periods, especially if they are in high demand, sometimes only a few hours or overnight.
Okay, good to know. Where can I find the specific loan period for each item?
It's usually printed on the checkout receipt, and you can also see it online in your library account.
Perfect, I'll make sure to check. Thanks.
No problem.
Using the library's computer labs, I need to use some specialized software for a project. Does the library have computer labs with different programs?
Yes, they usually do. Check the library's website or ask at the information desk for the locations and software available in each lab.
Are the labs usually crowded?
It depends on the time of day. They can get busy during peak hours, especially around deadlines.
Is there a way to reserve a computer in advance?
Some libraries allow reservations, while others operate on a first-come, first-served basis. Check the lab's policies.
Okay, I'll look into that. Thanks for the information. Using the library's study carrels. I'm thinking of using one of the study carrels. Are they worth it?
Definitely, if you need complete silence and minimal distractions.
Are they usually available, or do I need to reserve one?
It depends on the time of day and week. During peak hours, they fill up quickly, so reserving one is a good idea if you can.
How do I reserve one? Is it online?
Yes, usually through the library's website. There's a section for booking study spaces.
Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks.
No problem. Good luck with your studies.
Dealing with a difficult textbook.
This textbook is so dense. I'm struggling to understand anything.
I know the feeling. Have you tried reading the chapter summaries first? That can give you a good overview.
I haven't. I usually just start from the beginning.
Try it. It might help you focus on the key concepts. Also, look for supplementary materials online.
Like what?
YouTube videos, online lectures, or even study guides created by other students.
That's a good idea. I'll search for some resources.
And don't be afraid to ask your professor for clarification if you're still confused.
Dealing with proximity clutter. Ugh, I can't concentrate. There are so many people around me, and their stuff is encroaching on my space.
I get that. Personal space is crucial for studying. Have you tried politely asking them to be mindful of the shared space?
I feel awkward doing that.
You could start by saying something like, "Excuse me, would you mind keeping your things a little closer to your side? I'm having trouble focusing."
That's a good way to phrase it. I'll try that.
If that doesn't work, maybe try moving to a different table or even a different section of the library.
True. I might just have to relocate. Thanks.
Discussing preferred study music.
Do you listen to music while you study?
Sometimes. It depends on what I'm working on. Usually instrumental music, like classical or ambient.
I find that distracting. I prefer white noise or nature sounds.
That makes sense. I guess it's different for everyone. What do you listen to when you need to focus?
Usually, I have a white noise app that plays rain sounds, or sometimes just complete silence.
I've heard binaural beats can also be helpful for concentration. Have you tried those?
No, but I'll look into it. Thanks for the suggestion.
Exploring different library sections.
I always just head straight to the quiet study area. I haven't really explored the rest of the library.
You're missing out. Have you seen the Media Lab? They have computers with all sorts of editing software.
No way! I could really use that for my video project.
And there's a whole section dedicated to local history, which is really interesting if you're into that.
Wow, I had no idea. I'll definitely have to explore more.
Yeah, take some time to wander around. You might discover some hidden gems.
I will. Thanks for the tip.
Finding alternative study materials.
I'm having trouble finding enough resources for my research paper. I've exhausted all the usual databases. Have you checked the library's collection of government documents? They often have valuable information. Government documents? I didn't even know they had those. Yeah, and don't forget about interlibrary loan. You can request materials from other libraries if ours doesn't have what you need. I've heard of that, but I've never tried it. Is it complicated? Not at all. Just ask a librarian for assistance. They can guide you through the process. Okay, I'll definitely look into that. Thanks.
Overcoming information overload.
I'm completely overwhelmed. I have so many sources for this paper, I don't know where to start.
I know that feeling. Have you tried creating a mind map to organize your thoughts and sources?
A mind map? I haven't actually. How does that help?
It helps you visualize the connections between different ideas and prioritize the most relevant information.
That sounds useful. Is there a specific program you recommend?
There are tons of free online tools. Just search for mind mapping software. I like using Xmind.
Okay, I'll give that a try. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. Also, try focusing on one aspect of your topic at a time. It makes it feel less daunting.
Sharing experiences with library events.
Did you see the library is hosting a poetry slam next week?
Oh, cool. I didn't know they did those kinds of events.
Yeah, they have all sorts of things. I went to a book club meeting there once.
Was it any good?
It was. We had a really interesting discussion. It's a good way to meet new people, too.
Maybe I'll check out the poetry slam then. I've never been to one before.
You should. It's a fun way to unwind after studying.
Good to know. Thanks for the heads up.
Sharing tips for staying focused.
I can't seem to stay focused when I'm studying at the library. Any tips?
Try the Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break.
I've heard of that. Does it really work?
It does for me. It helps break down the task into manageable chunks. Also, put your phone away.
Easier said than done, but I know I should.
Try using a website blocker or an app that limits your access to social media.
That's a great idea. I'll look into that. Thanks.
The benefits of physical versus digital books.
I much prefer reading physical books. I find it easier to concentrate.
I'm the opposite. I love the convenience of ebooks. I can carry a whole library with me on my tablet.
But don't you find the screen distracting?
Not really. I adjust the brightness and use a blue light filter. Plus, I can easily highlight and take notes.
That's true. I do miss the feeling of turning the pages, though.
I get that. Maybe it depends on the type of reading. For pleasure reading, I might choose a physical book.
Yeah, that makes sense. For research, digital is probably more efficient. Understanding library workshops.
Have you ever attended any of the library workshops they offer?
Yeah, I went to one on effective research techniques last semester. It was surprisingly helpful.
Really? I saw they have one on advanced searching techniques using databases. I'm thinking of signing up.
I'd recommend it. They usually provide hands-on experience and introduce you to resources you might not know about.
Good to know. I struggle with narrowing down my search results sometimes.
Then that workshop would be perfect for you. Plus, they often provide materials you can refer back to later.
Okay, I'm convinced. I'll sign up today.
Dealing with resource scarcity.
I really need this textbook, but it's checked out and there are no copies available.
That's frustrating. Have you tried putting it on hold?
Yeah, I'm on the waiting list, but it says there are already 10 people ahead of me.
Maybe check if the professor put a copy on reserve at the circulation desk.
Good idea. I hadn't thought of that. I'll go check.
Also, sometimes the library has electronic versions you can access online.
I'll look for that too. Thanks for the suggestions.
Discussing library etiquette.
This library is so quiet. I feel like I can't even breathe.
Yeah, it's a designated quiet zone. You're supposed to keep noise to a minimum.
Oh, right. I should probably silence my phone then.
Definitely. And try to avoid talking loudly or shuffling papers too much.
Got it. What about eating? Is that allowed?
Usually, it's best to eat in the designated areas, like the cafe or the lobby.
Okay, good to know. I'll save my snack for later.
Thanks for being considerate. It makes studying easier for everyone.
Discussing the pros and cons of group study.
Are you studying alone or with a group? Alone today, but I'm thinking of joining a study group. What about you? I usually study alone, but I'm wondering if I'm missing out. Group study can be great for bouncing ideas and getting different perspectives. That's true, but I also worry about getting distracted or relying too much on others. Those are valid concerns. It's important to find a group that's focused and productive. Yeah, a good group could be really helpful. Maybe I'll give it a try.
Discussing the value of physical books.
I'm finding it hard to concentrate reading this ebook. I miss physical books.
I know what you mean. There's something about holding a real book that helps with focus.
Yeah, and I get less distracted by other things on my computer.
Exactly. Plus, you can easily flip back and forth between pages and take notes in the margins.
True, highlighting and annotating are much easier in a physical book.
But ebooks are convenient for searching and portability.
That's true. I guess it depends on the situation and my personal preference.
Explaining the Dewey Decimal System.
I'm completely lost. How are these books organized? This library uses the Dewey Decimal System. Each number represents a subject. So how do I find a book on, say, astronomy? Astronomy is in the 520s. Look for the section with numbers starting with 52. And then what? Are they in alphabetical order after that? Usually, yes. They're ordered alphabetically by the author's last name within each number range. Okay, that makes a little more sense now. Thanks for explaining.
Navigating subject-specific sections.
Hey, I'm trying to find resources for my history paper, but I'm not sure where to start in this massive library. No problem. Have you checked the history section on the second floor? It's organized by region and era. I didn't even know there was a dedicated history section. I was just wandering around. Yeah, most subjects have their own area. Look for the signs or ask at the information desk. That's really helpful. Are there any other specific areas I should know about for research? Definitely check the reference section for encyclopedias and primary source collections. Those can be gold mines. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the tip. No problem. Good luck with your paper.
Seeking advice on library resources. I'm trying to find some academic journals for my research project, but I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed.
Have you tried using the library's research databases? They're a great place to start.
I've heard of them, but I'm not really sure how to use them effectively.
The library offers workshops on using the databases. You should check the schedule.
That's a great idea. I'll look into that. Are there any specific databases you'd recommend?
It depends on your topic, but JSTOR and ProQuest are generally good starting points.
Okay, I'll check those out. Thanks for the help. Sharing study tips.
I'm struggling to retain information. Do you have any study tips?
Try the Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break.
I've heard of that. Does it really work?
It does for me. It helps me stay focused and prevents burnout.
I'll give it a try. Anything else?
Active recall is great too. Try quizzing yourself on the material.
Okay, I'll add that to my routine. Thanks.
Understanding library membership.
Do you know if I can get a library card, even if I'm not a student here?
It depends on the library's policy. Some libraries offer community memberships.
How would I find out?
You can check their website or ask at the circulation desk. They'll have all the information.
Okay, I'll check online first. What do I usually need to sign up?
Usually, you need some form of identification and proof of address.
All right, sounds straightforward enough. Thanks.
Understanding plagiarism and avoiding it.
I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing in my research paper.
It's a common concern. The key is to properly cite all your sources.
I know, but it can be confusing knowing what needs to be cited and what doesn't.
If you're unsure, it's always better to cite it. Direct quotes definitely need quotation marks and a citation.
What about paraphrasing? Do I still need to cite that?
Absolutely. Even if you reword something, if the idea isn't yours, you need to give credit.
Okay, I'll be extra careful. Thanks for the reminder.
No problem. There are also plagiarism checkers you can use to double-check your work.
Accessing research papers behind paywalls.
Ah, I found this amazing research paper, but it's behind a paywall. So frustrating.
Have you tried accessing it through the library's website? They often have subscriptions to journals.
I did, but it's not available. Any other ideas?
You could try using the library's interlibrary loan service. They might be able to get it from another library.
Oh, I forgot about that. How does that work?
Just go to the research help desk. They can guide you through the process. It usually takes a few days.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Also, sometimes the author has a copy on their personal website or ResearchGate.
Book recommendation exchange.
Hey, have you read anything good lately? I'm looking for something new. Actually, yeah. I just finished The Midnight Library, and I really enjoyed it. What kind of genres do you usually like? I'm into sci-fi and fantasy, but I'm open to anything well-written. Maybe try Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir then. It's sci-fi, but really engaging. That sounds familiar. I think I've seen it mentioned. What did you like about The Midnight Library? It's thought-provoking and explores the idea of choices and regret. Plus, it's a quick read. Okay, you've convinced me. I'll check them both out. Thanks for the recommendations. No problem. Let me know what you think once you've read them.
Discussing library accessibility features.
Do you know what accessibility features the library offers?
I know they have ramps and elevators for wheelchair access. I think they also offer assistive technology.
Like what kind of assistive technology?
Screen readers, text-to-speech software, and maybe even large print keyboards. It's worth asking at the information desk.
That's good to know. I have a friend who might benefit from that.
They also have designated quiet areas and adjustable desks, I believe.
That's really helpful. It's good to know the library is inclusive.
Definitely. They also probably have a dedicated accessibility services department on campus you can contact for more detailed information.
Discussing the library's book sale.
Did you hear the library is having a book sale next week? Really? I didn't know. What kind of books do they usually have? It's a mix of everything. Fiction, nonfiction, textbooks. You can find some real gems. That sounds interesting. Are the prices usually good? They're super cheap, like $1 or $2 per book. It's a great way to build your personal library. Wow, I'm definitely going to check it out. Do you know when it starts? I think it's Tuesday morning. I saw a poster near the entrance. Awesome, thanks for letting me know. I might see you there.
Discussing the merits of different library study spaces.
I can't decide where to study today. Do you prefer the quiet study rooms or the open area?
It depends on what I'm working on. For focused work, I like the quiet rooms, but for brainstorming, the open area can be good.
Yeah, the open area has more natural light, which is nice. But it can get noisy.
Exactly. And sometimes the quiet rooms are too quiet, you know? It can be a little eerie.
True. I guess it's a trade-off. Maybe I'll try the open area with headphones today.
Good idea. I might try the study carrels on the 3rd floor. They're usually pretty secluded.
Oh, I forgot about those. I'll keep that in mind for next time. Thanks. Evaluating the library's physical book condition. This book is in terrible condition. The spine is cracked and some pages are falling out.
Yeah, sometimes you get unlucky. You should report it to the front desk.
Will they do anything about it?
They might try to repair it, or at least flag it so no one else checks it out in that state.
Good point. I wouldn't want someone else to get stuck with it. Should I still use it for my research, though?
If the content is what you need, carefully use it. Just be extra gentle. Maybe even take pictures of the relevant pages in case they fall out completely.
That's a smart idea. I'll do that. Thanks.
No problem. Hopefully they'll replace it soon.
Planning a library scavenger hunt.
Hey, I was thinking of organizing a library scavenger hunt for our study group. What do you think?
That sounds like fun. What kind of clues did you have in mind?
I was thinking clues related to finding specific books, using the catalog, or locating different resources.
That's a great idea. We could also include clues about library history or interesting facts.
Yeah, that would make it more engaging. Maybe we could offer a small prize for the winning team.
Definitely. We should also make sure the clues are challenging but not impossible.
Agreed. And we need to get permission from the library staff before we start.
Right. Let's plan it out together. I'm excited.
Sharing tips for effective online research. I'm struggling to find relevant sources for my research paper online. Any tips?
Try using Boolean operators like and, or, and not to refine your search terms. It really narrows down the results.
Boolean operators? I've never heard of those.
Yeah, like if you're researching climate change effects, you could search climate change and coastal erosion to find articles specifically about that.
That makes sense. Anything else?
Use quotation marks around phrases to search for those exact words together. And always check the credibility of the source.
How do you check the credibility?
Look for peer-reviewed journals, reputable websites, and authors with expertise in the field. Understanding library security measures.
Do you know if the library has security cameras everywhere?
I'm pretty sure they do, especially near the entrances and exits, and probably in the stacks.
I was just wondering because I saw someone acting a little suspicious earlier.
You should probably report it to the front desk if you're concerned. They take security seriously.
Yeah, you're right. Better safe than sorry. Do they check bags when you leave?
Sometimes, randomly. I think they mostly rely on the alarm system at the exit.
Okay, good to know. Thanks for the info.
No problem. Just be aware of your surroundings.
Discussing the impact of technology on studying. Do you think technology helps or hinders studying in the library?
That's a tough one. It's a double-edged sword, I think.
How so?
On one hand, access to online resources is incredible, but the constant notifications and potential for distraction are huge.
Yeah, I find myself constantly checking my phone when I should be reading.
Exactly. I try to put my phone on airplane mode and use website blockers to stay focused.
That's a good idea. Maybe I should try that too. It's so tempting to just quickly check social media.
Definitely give it a shot. It's all about finding a balance that works for you.
Discussing the library's community events.
Did you see the library is hosting a local author talk next week?
Oh, really? What kind of author?
It's a mystery writer. I might go. I've read some of their books.
The library always has something going on. I went to a photography workshop there last month.
That's cool. I usually just come to study. I should check out the events more often.
They're a great way to learn new things and meet people. Plus, they're usually free.
True. I'll definitely keep an eye on the calendar.
You should. Maybe I'll see you at the author talk. Discussing the library's role in promoting literacy.
I was reading about the library's literacy programs. It's amazing how much they do.
Yeah, it's more than just books. They offer so much support to the community.
Like what? I only know about the children's reading programs.
They often have adult literacy classes, workshops on resume writing, and even computer skills training.
Wow, that's really comprehensive. It's great they're addressing different needs.
Exactly. They're really essential for promoting lifelong learning and social mobility.
It makes you appreciate the library even more. It's such a valuable resource.
Definitely. And it's usually free to access.
Evaluating the library's physical book collection.
I've noticed some of the books in the library are quite old and worn. What's your take on the physical collection?
It's a mixed bag, isn't it? Some are classics that are well loved, but others are definitely showing their age.
Do you think they should focus more on digital resources instead of maintaining a large physical collection?
I think there's a place for both. Physical books offer a different experience, and some people prefer them.
That's true. There's something nice about holding a book in your hands.
Exactly. Plus, not everything is available digitally. Some older or niche titles are only found in print.
Good point. So a balance between maintaining the physical collection and expanding digital access is ideal?
I think so. And hopefully they can invest in preserving and restoring the older books too.
Finding accessible study spaces. I'm looking for a study space that's easily accessible, as I have mobility issues.
Have you checked if the library has designated accessible study rooms or areas?
No, I haven't. Where would I find that information?
You can usually find it on the library's website under Accessibility Services or by asking at the information desk.
That's helpful. I also need a space with good lighting and minimal noise.
Some libraries have quiet study zones specifically designed for that. They often have adjustable lighting, too.
I'll definitely look into that. Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. I hope you find a comfortable and productive space.
Seeking recommendations for specialized research tools.
I'm working on a project about ancient civilizations, and I'm struggling to find reliable primary sources. Any recommendations?
Have you spoken to the subject librarian for history? They usually know about specialized databases and archives.
A subject librarian? I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, they're experts in specific fields. They can guide you to resources you wouldn't find on your own.
That sounds incredibly helpful. Where do I find them?
The library website should have a directory, or just ask at the reference desk. They'll point you in the right direction.
I'll do that first thing tomorrow. Thanks so much.
No problem. Good luck with your research. Sharing strategies for staying awake while studying.
I'm struggling to stay awake while studying in the library. Any tips?
Oh, I know that feeling. Coffee is a classic, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid relying too much on caffeine.
Try taking short breaks to walk around. Even just a few minutes can help.
That's a good idea. I tend to just sit here for hours.
Also, make sure you're hydrated. Dehydration can make you feel tired.
Okay, I'll bring a water bottle next time. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. Good luck staying awake.
Understanding library fine appeals.
Hey, have you ever had to appeal a library fine?
Actually, yeah, once. It was a bit of a process.
What happened? Was it successful?
I had a book due during a family emergency, and I couldn't get to the library. I wrote a letter explaining the situation.
And they accepted it.
Yep, they waived the fine entirely. Honesty and a good reason seem to go a long way.
Good to know. I accidentally kept a book way too long, and the fine is pretty hefty.
Definitely try appealing. Check their website for the specific procedure.
Understanding plagiarism detection software. I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing something in my research paper.
Have you thought about using plagiarism detection software?
I've heard of it, but I don't know how it works. Is it reliable?
It can be helpful. The library usually offers access to one, like Turnitin. It compares your work to a huge database of sources.
So it highlights potential issues?
Exactly. But it's not perfect. You still need to carefully review the report and make sure you've properly cited everything.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's a tool to help me, not a replacement for careful citation.
Precisely. Think of it as a safety net.
Using the library's language learning resources.
I'm trying to learn Spanish. Do you know if the library has any good language learning resources?
Definitely. They usually have language learning software, CDs, and textbooks.
Software? Like Rosetta Stone?
Possibly. They might have that or something similar. They also have conversation groups sometimes.
Conversation groups? That sounds really helpful.
Yeah, check the library's event calendar. It's a great way to practice speaking.
I will! Thanks for the tip. I had no idea they offered so much.
No problem. Good luck with your Spanish.
Accessing dissertations and theses.
I'm looking for some examples of dissertations in my field. Does the library have a collection of those? Yes, we do. You can access them both physically and online. Many are available through our institutional repository. What's an institutional repository? It's a digital archive where the university stores and provides access to the scholarly output of its faculty and students. So I can find dissertations written by students here? Exactly. You can search by author, title, department, or keywords. You can find the link on the library website. That's incredibly helpful. Thanks.
Discussing different study music genres.
I'm trying to find some new music to study to. What do you usually listen to?
It depends on the task. For reading, I like ambient or classical music, something without lyrics.
Yeah, lyrics can be distracting. I sometimes listen to lo-fi hip-hop.
Lo-fi is good. For problem solving, I sometimes need something a little more upbeat, maybe some instrumental electronica.
Interesting. I'll have to try that. I tend to just stick with the same playlist.
Experiment. You might find something that really helps you focus.
Good point. Thanks for the tips.
Discussing the merits of different library study spaces. I'm having trouble focusing in the main reading room. It's always so busy.
Yeah, it can be. Have you tried the individual study carrels on the second floor?
I haven't. Are they quiet?
Much quieter. They're more secluded. Or, if you prefer a more collaborative environment, there are group study rooms you can reserve.
I usually study alone, so the carols sound perfect. Are they hard to get?
During peak times, they can be. But if you go early in the morning or later in the evening, you should be able to find one.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks for the suggestion.
Exploring the graphic novel collection.
Did you know the library has a pretty extensive graphic novel collection?
Really? I thought they were mostly academic resources.
They have both. I've found some really interesting non-fiction graphic novels lately.
Like what? I'm curious now.
Well, there's one on the history of the civil rights movement, and another about climate change.
Wow, that's actually really cool. Makes complex topics more accessible.
Exactly. Plus, they're a nice break from dense textbooks.
I might have to check that out. Where's the graphic novel section?
Exploring the library's map collection.
I need to find a detailed map of the city from the 1920s for a research project. Does the library have anything like that?
Yes, we have an extensive map collection. It's located in the basement near the government documents section.
Wow. I didn't even know the library had a map collection.
It's one of our hidden gems. We have maps of all kinds, from historical city maps to geological surveys.
That's incredible. How do I find what I'm looking for?
There's a catalog specifically for the map collection. You can search by location, date, or type of map.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thanks.
Overcoming information paralysis.
I'm so overwhelmed. I have so many resources for this paper, I don't even know where to start. I know that feeling. Try breaking it down. First, identify your core question. Okay, I think I have that. Then, Pick just times 3 times resources that seem most relevant. Don't look at the others yet. 3? That feels limiting. It is, but it forces you to focus. You can always add more later if needed. It prevents paralysis. It's a good point. So focus on the core question and 3 key resources. Exactly. Then, summarize those resources and see what connections you can make. It's a starting point.
Seeking advice on library resources for specific courses.
I'm struggling to find relevant resources for my Sociology 101 class. Any tips?
Have you checked the library's course reserves? Sometimes professors put key readings on reserve.
No, I haven't. Where would I find those?
You can search for them on the library website by course name or professor's name. They're usually kept behind the circulation desk.
Okay, I'll try that. Anything else?
Also, look for subject guides on the library website. They curate resources specifically for different academic disciplines.
Subject guides? That sounds perfect. Thanks so much.
Seeking recommendations for podcasts related to coursework. I'm trying to find some good podcasts that relate to our history class. Any recommendations?
Have you checked out Hardcore History? It's pretty intense, but Dan Carlin really dives deep.
I've heard of it, but isn't it super long?
Some episodes are, yeah. But there are others, like History Extra, that are shorter and more focused.
Okay, I'll look into History Extra. Anything else?
There's also the History of Rome, which is a chronological account. It's pretty comprehensive.
That sounds interesting. Thanks for the suggestions.
Understanding Open Educational Resources, OER.
I'm trying to save money on textbooks this semester. Have you heard anything about open educational resources?
Yeah, OER, the library actually promotes them. They're basically free, openly licensed educational materials.
Free? Really? Are they any good?
They can be. Some professors are starting to use them instead of traditional textbooks. The library website has a section dedicated to finding OER.
That's amazing. I'll definitely look into that.
Just be sure to check the quality and relevance of the material before relying on it completely.
Good point. Thanks for the tip.
Understanding the library's archives. I need to do some research on the history of the university for a project, and I was told the library has archives.
Yes, our archives are located on the 3rd floor. They contain a wealth of historical documents and artifacts.
Do I need an appointment to access them?
It's highly recommended. It allows the archivist to prepare relevant materials for you and ensure someone is available to assist you.
Okay, how do I make an appointment?
You can call the archives directly or send an email. Their contact information is on the library website.
Great, thanks for the information.
Discussing library cafe options.
Have you tried the coffee at the library cafe lately?
I usually get a latte before I start studying. It's not bad.
I'm thinking of grabbing a snack. Anything good to recommend?
Their sandwiches are decent, but the pastries are usually a bit stale.
Good to know. I might just stick with a coffee then. Need the caffeine boost.
Definitely. Long study session ahead.
Yeah, I saw they have a new type of tea. Have you tried it?
No, but I'm curious. Maybe I'll grab one later.
Discussing resource availability during peak times.
It's so hard to find a computer during peak hours. Any tips?
Try going early in the morning or later in the evening.
Easier said than done with my schedule, but I'll try.
Some libraries have computer labs you can reserve ahead of time.
I'll check if this library offers that. Thanks.
Also, sometimes they have extra computers set up in the overflow area.
I didn't know that. I'll look for that next time. Thanks.
Discussing the best library study strategies.
I'm having trouble concentrating here. Any study strategies that work for you?
I use the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of studying followed by a 5-minute break.
I've heard of that. Maybe I should try it. My mind wanders after a while.
Also, try to actively engage with the material, like summarizing paragraphs.
That makes sense. Passive reading doesn't seem to stick.
Exactly. And make sure you take short breaks to stretch and move around.
Okay, I'll give it a shot, thanks. Evaluating the library's ambience. This library is usually pretty quiet, don't you think?
Yeah, most of the time. But sometimes the chatter near the entrance can be distracting.
True. I prefer the upper floors. They seem more conducive to concentration.
Good point. I'll try heading up there next time. I need to really focus today.
Me too. That's why I always bring noise-canceling headphones just in case.
Smart idea. I should invest in a pair. Do you find the temperature comfortable in here?
It's usually okay, but sometimes it's a bit too cold. Layers are key.
Navigating the government documents section.
Have you ever had to use the government documents section of the library?
Once or twice. It can be a bit overwhelming, to be honest.
I need to find some statistics for my research paper, and I think they might be there.
Definitely. Ask a librarian for help. They're experts at navigating that section.
Good idea. I wouldn't even know where to start looking.
They can also show you how to access government databases online.
That would be so helpful, thanks.
No problem. Good luck with your research.
Seeking information on thesis binding. Do you know if the library offers thesis binding services?
I'm not sure, but I think they used to. You should ask at the information desk.
I need to get my thesis bound before the deadline. It's stressing me out.
I can understand. Check with the desk, they might know some external resources as well.
That's a good idea. I'll ask them about local print shops too.
Also, check if the university has any specific binding guidelines.
Good point. I forgot about that. Thanks.
Sharing experiences with library events.
Did you see they're having a workshop on research methods next week?
Oh, really? I might check that out. My research skills could use some improvement.
Me too. I always struggle with finding reliable sources.
Last year, they had a lecture on academic writing. That was pretty helpful.
I wish I'd gone to that. I'm always looking for ways to improve my writing.
Keep an eye on the library's website. They usually have a calendar of events.
Will do. Thanks. Sharing study material organization tips. I'm so overwhelmed with all my notes and readings. How do you stay organized?
I use a digital note-taking app and create separate notebooks for each subject.
That sounds helpful. I'm still stuck with paper and highlighters.
You could try scanning your notes and organizing them digitally. It's easier to search.
That's a good idea. I also need to create a better filing system for my articles.
Maybe label folders by topic or author. That way you can easily find what you are looking for.
I will give it a shot. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. Organization is key to managing the workload.
Understanding extended library hours.
I heard the library is extending its hours during finals week. Is that true?
Yeah, I think it's going to be open until midnight every night.
That's a lifesaver. I always need extra time to cram.
Me too. It gets so crowded though, especially in the evening.
True. I guess we'll have to get here early to snag a good spot.
Definitely. And bring snacks, because the cafe might be closed late at night.
Good thinking. Thanks for the heads up.
Understanding library resource accessibility.
Do you know if the library provides access to that specific journal, Cognitive Psychology?
I think so. You can check their online catalog or ask at the reference desk.
I tried the catalog, but it wasn't very clear. I'll try the desk then.
They can also help you access it online, even if it's behind a paywall.
That's good to know. I'm trying to avoid paying for it myself.
Most academic libraries have subscriptions to a wide range of journals.
Hopefully they have this one. Thanks for the tip.
Accessing the library's Wi-Fi. Hey, do you know the Wi-Fi password here?
Usually it's posted somewhere, like on a sign near the entrance or the information desk.
I looked around, but I can't seem to find it.
Try connecting to the network. Sometimes it will redirect you to a login page.
Okay, I'm connected, but it's asking for a username and password.
That's odd. It might be your library card number. Or ask at the front desk.
Okay, I'll try my library card. Thanks for the help.
Comparing study habits.
I'm finding it hard to focus here. What's your study routine like? I usually start by outlining what I need to cover. Then I focus on one section at a time. Interesting. I tend to jump around a bit, which might be my problem. Maybe try the Pomodoro technique. 25 minutes of focused work, then a short break. I've heard of that. Do you use any specific apps or tools? I use a simple timer app and a notebook for jotting down ideas. Nothing too fancy. Good to know. I might give the Pomodoro thing a try. Thanks.
Dealing with a noisy neighbor.
This guy next to me is constantly clicking his pen. It's driving me crazy.
Yeah, that's annoying. Have you tried politely asking him to stop?
I haven't yet. I didn't want to be rude.
Just be polite. Say something like, "Excuse me, would you mind not clicking your pen? It's a little distracting."
Okay, I'll try that. What if he doesn't stop?
Then you can discreetly inform the library staff. They can usually handle it.
Good point. I'll give it a shot. Thanks.
Discussing different study environments.
I can't decide where to study. Do you prefer the quiet zones or the more social areas? It depends on what I'm working on. If I need to really focus, I go to the quiet zone. That makes sense. I find the quiet zones a bit too isolating sometimes. Yeah, if I'm just reviewing notes or doing something less intensive, I prefer the more open areas. I might try switching it up. Maybe that'll help me stay more engaged. Definitely experiment and see what works best for you. The coffee shop is a good option too. True, but I get distracted by the noise there. Thanks for the input.
Evaluating the library's physical book collection.
I've noticed the library's collection seems a bit outdated in some areas. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. It's probably a challenge to keep everything current with limited funding.
Do you think they prioritize certain subjects over others?
Likely. They probably focus on areas that are most relevant to the local community and academic programs.
It would be great if they had a system for suggesting new book purchases.
Some libraries do. Check their website or ask at the information desk. They might have a form or suggestion box.
I'll definitely look into that. Thanks. Finding a specific journal article.
I need to find a specific journal article, but I can't access it. Any tips? Do you know the journal name and article title? Try searching for it in the library's online catalog. I tried that, but it says it's not available. It might be available through another database. Check the library's list of databases and search there. Okay, I'll try that. What if it's still not available? Then you can request it through interlibrary loan. The library will borrow it from another library for you. Oh, I didn't know that was an option. Thanks.
Finding course-specific resources.
I'm struggling to find relevant resources for my history paper. Any ideas?
Have you checked the library's research guides? They often have guides tailored to specific courses.
No, I didn't even know those existed. Where can I find them?
Usually on the library's website, under Research or Guides. You can search by subject or course code.
Okay, I'll look for that. Anything else I should consider?
Don't forget to talk to the subject librarian. They're experts in finding resources for specific fields.
That's a great point. I'll definitely do that. Thanks for the advice.
Requesting a book from storage. Hey, I need a book, but it says it's in storage. Do you know how to request it?
Yeah, usually you can do it online through the library website. Just find the book in the catalog.
Okay, I've found it. I see a request button. Is that it?
Yep, click that. You'll probably need to log in with your library card number.
Done. It asks for a pickup location. Should I just pick the main desk?
That's usually the default. Just make sure it's a convenient spot for you.
Great, thanks. How long does it usually take for them to retrieve it?
It depends. Usually a day or two. They'll email you when it's ready.
Understanding late fees. I just got an email saying I have late fees. How much are they usually?
It depends on the type of material. Books are usually a small amount per day, but DVDs can be more.
Is there a way to check online how much I owe?
Yeah, log into your library account on the website. It should show your fines.
Okay, I see it. Is there a way to pay them online too?
Most libraries allow online payment now. Look for a pay fines option.
Great, thanks. I'll take care of it now.
Understanding the library's mission.
I was thinking, what's the main purpose of a library in this day and age?
Well, it's more than just books now. It's about access to information for everyone.
True. They offer so much more than just books, like computers and online resources.
Exactly, and they provide a space for learning, research, and community engagement.
So it's a vital resource for education and personal development.
Absolutely, and they often host workshops and events to promote literacy and learning.
That makes sense. It's a really valuable institution. Accessing government documents. I need to find some government documents for my political science assignment.
The library has a dedicated section for government publications. It's on the lower level.
Are they all physical copies, or are some available online?
A lot of them are available online through the library's databases. You can also find physical copies there.
Is there someone who can help me navigate that section?
Yes, there's a librarian who specializes in government documents. You can ask at the reference desk.
That's exactly what I needed to know. Thanks.
Accessing periodicals and journals. I need to find some academic journals for my research paper.
Have you checked the library's online databases?
I'm not sure which ones are best for my topic, which is environmental science.
You could try Science Direct or JSTOR. They have a lot of relevant articles.
Are those accessible through the library website?
Yes, just go to the databases section and search for them. You might need your student ID to access them off campus.
Okay, that's really helpful. Thanks.
Borrowing technology, laptops, headphones. I forgot my laptop at home. Does the library lend out laptops?
Yes, they do. You can borrow one for a few hours.
That's great. Where do I go to borrow one?
Go to the Technology Services desk. It's near the entrance.
Do I need to show my student ID?
Yes, you'll need your student ID to check one out.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
They also lend out headphones if you need them.
Group project collaboration. Hey, are you free to work on the history project this week?
Yeah, definitely. When were you thinking?
How about Wednesday evening at the library? We can use one of the group study rooms.
Sounds good. Did you already start researching anything?
I've found a few primary sources. I can share them when we meet.
Perfect. I'll focus on secondary sources then.
Awesome. See you Wednesday.
Joining a study group.
I'm struggling with the calculus homework. Are you in a study group?
Yeah. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday in the library.
Really? Could I possibly join you guys?
Sure, we're always happy to have more people. What's your name?
I'm Alex.
Great, Alex. We usually meet around 6 p.m. in the quiet study area on the second floor.
Awesome. I'll be there next Tuesday.
Lost book replacement policy.
Oh no, I think I lost the novel I borrowed last week. What should I do?
Don't worry too much. The library has a lost book policy. You'll likely have to pay for a replacement.
Really? How much does that usually cost?
It depends on the book's current market value. They'll check the price online.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Where do I report it missing?
Just go to the circulation desk. They'll guide you through the process.
Great, thanks for the information. I was panicking a bit.
No problem. It happens to everyone at some point.
Printing and photocopying services.
Where can I print out this article?
The printers are near the information desk, on the main floor.
Do I need to add money to a card or something?
Yeah, you can add money to your student ID card at the machine next to the printers, or use a guest print card.
And how much does it cost per page?
It's usually around 10 cents for black and white, and a bit more for color.
Okay, thanks for the information.
Renewing borrowed materials.
Do you know how to renew books online?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. Just log into your library account.
I tried, but it says I can't renew one of the books. Why?
It might be because someone else has requested it, or you've reached the maximum renewal limit.
Oh, that makes sense. I guess I'll have to return it then.
You could also check if another copy is available.
Good idea. Thanks for the help. Using the library's microfilm reader. I need to access some old newspapers on microfilm. Do you know where the reader is?
Yeah, it's in the special collections room, on the third floor.
Is it easy to use?
It's pretty straightforward. But there's usually someone there who can help if you get stuck.
Do I need to reserve it beforehand?
It's best to check with the special collection staff. Sometimes they have a reservation system.
Okay, I'll do that. Thanks for the information.
Using the library's online catalog.
I'm having trouble finding this specific journal. Any tips? Have you tried searching for it in the online catalog? Yeah, but I'm not sure I'm using the right keywords. Try searching by the journal's ISSN number if you have it. That's usually the most accurate way. Good idea. Where can I find the ISSN? It's usually on the journal's website, or in the first few pages of a physical copy. I'll give that a shot. Thanks. No problem. Let me know if you still can't find it.
Accessing online journals remotely.
I'm trying to access a journal article from home, but it's asking me to pay. Are you accessing it through the library's website? I just Googled the article and clicked on the link. You need to go through the library's website so it recognizes you as a student. Use the library search bar to find the journal, then click the link to the article. Oh, I see. So I need to log in through the library's portal first? Exactly. You'll probably need your student ID and password. Okay, I'll try that now. Thanks for the help. No problem.
Dealing with study material overload. I'm feeling so overwhelmed with all this reading material. I don't even know where to start.
Try breaking it down into smaller, manageable chunks. Focus on one chapter or article at a time.
That's a good idea. It just feels like there's so much to cover.
Also, try skimming through the material first to get a general overview before diving into the details.
Okay, so skim first, then break it down. I'll try that, thanks.
And don't be afraid to take breaks. It's better to study in short bursts than to burn out.
You're right, I tend to push myself too hard. Thanks for the advice.
Difficulty concentrating.
I'm having such a hard time focusing today. I keep getting distracted.
Me too. Maybe we should try the silent study room.
Is it actually silent in there? I've heard mixed reviews.
It's usually pretty good. Earplugs are a must, though.
That's a good idea. I'll grab some from my bag. Let's go.
Sounds like a plan. Hopefully we can get some work done.
Fingers crossed.
finding less crowded areas. This place is packed. I can barely concentrate.
Yeah, it's always busy during exam season. Have you tried the upper floors?
Not yet. Are they usually quieter up there?
Generally, yes, especially the sections with the older journals. People tend to avoid those.
Good to know. I'll head up there now. Thanks.
No problem. Good luck finding a spot.
Thanks. I need it. Finding study partners. I'm really struggling with this calculus assignment. I wish I had someone to study with.
Have you tried posting on the class forum? Maybe someone else is looking for a study partner too.
That's a good idea. I always forget about the forum.
Or you could ask around during the next lecture. There might be someone sitting near you who's also interested.
True. I'm a little shy, but I guess I should try to be more proactive.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. Studying with someone can make a big difference.
I agree. I'll definitely try both of those things. Thanks. Understanding different library sections.
I'm looking for a specific type of book, but I'm not sure which section to look in.
What kind of book are you looking for? Fiction, nonfiction, reference material?
It's a biography. I think that's nonfiction, right?
Yes, biographies are in the nonfiction section. Look for the call number related to the person the biography is about.
Okay, so nonfiction, and then look for the call number. Thanks.
Also, remember that the reference section usually has encyclopedias and dictionaries, which can be helpful for background information.
Got it. Thanks for clarifying.
No problem.
Understanding library research guides. I'm struggling to find relevant information for my paper.
Have you checked the library's research guides? They're organized by subject.
Research guides? Where do I find those?
They're on the library's website. Just search for research guides and your subject area.
Okay, I'll try that. Hopefully it'll point me in the right direction.
They're really helpful. They list key databases, journals, and other resources.
That sounds perfect. Thanks for the tip.
You're welcome. Understanding the library's website.
I'm trying to find a specific journal, but I can't seem to navigate the library's website. The website can be a bit confusing at first. Are you using the search bar or trying to browse? I'm using the search bar, but it's giving me too many irrelevant results. Try using the advanced search option. You can specify the journal title and ISSN. Advanced search? I didn't even notice that. Where is it? Usually, there's a link right below the main search bar that says advanced search or something similar. I see it now. I'll give that a try. Thanks. Good luck. Let me know if you still can't find it.
Using the library's chat service.
I have a quick question about finding a resource, but I don't want to bother the librarian at the desk.
Did you know the library has a chat service on their website?
A chat service? I didn't. How does that work?
Just go to the library's website, and there should be a little chat icon in the corner. You can type your question, and a librarian will respond.
That's so convenient. I'll definitely use that next time.
It's really helpful for quick questions like that.
Awesome. Thanks for letting me know. Accessing ebooks remotely. I'm trying to read an ebook from the library's collection, but I can't figure out how to access it from my laptop.
You usually need to log in with your library card number and password through the library's website.
I did that, but it's still not working. It keeps saying I don't have permission.
Are you using the right platform? Some libraries use different platforms for their ebooks, like Overdrive or Libby.
Oh, I see. I'm not sure which platform this library uses. How can I find out?
Check the library's website or ask a librarian. They should be able to tell you which platform to use and how to access the ebooks.
Okay, I'll check the website. Thanks.
Dealing with resource scarcity. I need this specific journal article for my paper, but it's checked out online.
That's frustrating. Have you tried requesting it through interlibrary loan?
I did, but it says it could take a few weeks, and I need it sooner.
Have you checked if any other libraries in the area have it available online?
That's a good idea. I'll check the consortium catalog.
Also, sometimes professors have copies of important articles. You could try emailing yours.
I'll try that as a last resort. Thanks for the suggestions.
Discussing library etiquette.
I'm finding it hard to concentrate with all the noise in here.
Yeah, some people forget library etiquette. It's supposed to be a quiet zone.
I wish there were clearer signs about it. People are talking loudly on their phones.
Maybe we should politely remind them to keep it down or move to a designated phone area.
I feel a bit awkward doing that. What if they get upset?
You could also report it to the library staff. They're usually pretty good at enforcing the rules.
That's a good idea. I'll find a staff member and let them know.
Finding textbooks on reserve. Hey, are you having trouble finding the textbook for Professor Lee's class?
Yeah, I can't seem to find it anywhere on the shelves. It's always checked out.
Have you tried checking the reserve section? Sometimes professors put copies there for short-term loans.
Reserve section? I didn't even know that was a thing. Where is it?
It's usually near the circulation desk. You can ask the librarian there to point you in the right direction.
Oh, that's great. I'll go check that out right now. Thanks.
No problem. Just remember, they usually have shorter loan periods, like a few hours or overnight.
Good to know. That's still better than nothing?
Navigating the government documents section.
I need to find some information on current environmental regulations for a project.
Have you tried the government documents section? They usually have a lot of that kind of stuff.
I've never used it before. Where is it and how does it work?
It's usually on a separate floor or section, often near the law or political science area. Ask the librarian for directions.
Okay, I'll do that. Is it organized like the rest of the library?
They use a different classification system, often the Superintendent of Documents, SUDOC system. It can be a bit confusing at first.
Sounds complicated. Maybe I should ask the librarian for help navigating it.
Definitely. They're experts in finding government information.
Understanding database access from home. I'm trying to do some research from home, but I can't access the library databases. It keeps asking for a password.
You need to use your student ID and password to log in through the library website.
I tried that, but it's still not working. Am I doing something wrong?
Are you going through the library's website first? You can't just go directly to the database website.
Oh, I see. I was trying to go directly to the database. I didn't realize I had to go through the library portal first.
Yeah, the library website authenticates you and then redirects you to the database. Look for a link that says off-campus access or something similar.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks for the tip. Understanding library event schedules.
I'm looking for something to do this weekend. Do you know if the library has any events coming up? They usually have a calendar of events on their website, or a bulletin board near the entrance. I'll check the website. What kind of events do they usually have? They have author talks, workshops, book clubs, and sometimes even movie screenings. That sounds interesting. Maybe I'll find something I like. They often have study skills workshops too, which might be helpful for us. Good point. I'll definitely take a look.
Understanding plagiarism detection software.
I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing something in my paper.
Have you considered using the library's plagiarism detection software before submitting it?
I didn't know the library offered that. How does it work?
You upload your paper, and it compares it to a huge database of sources, highlighting potential matches.
That sounds really helpful. Is it free to use for students?
Yes, it's usually part of the library's services. Check their website or ask a librarian for details.
I'll definitely look into that. Thanks for the tip.
Using the library's suggestion box.
This library is great, but I wish they had more books on artificial intelligence.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Have you ever used the suggestion box?
Suggestion box? I didn't know they had one. Where is it located?
Usually near the entrance or the information desk. You can write down your suggestion for books or other resources.
That's a good idea. I'll definitely write a suggestion for more AI books.
Me too. The more people who suggest it, the more likely they are to get them.
Exactly. It's worth a shot, right?
Definitely. Plus, they might even consider adding more study spaces if enough people suggest it. Utilizing the library's Media Lab.
I need to create a short video for my presentation, but I don't have the right software.
Have you checked out the library's Media Lab? They usually have computers with video editing software.
Media Lab? I didn't know we had one. Where is it?
It's usually on the lower level or in a separate room. You might need to reserve a time slot to use it.
How do I reserve it?
You can usually do it online through the library's website or by asking at the information desk.
That's great. I'll check it out. Thanks.
Balancing study and social life.
I'm finding it really hard to balance studying and having a social life. I feel like I'm always missing out.
It's a common struggle. Have you tried scheduling specific times for studying and socializing?
I've tried, but I always end up feeling guilty if I'm not studying.
Remember that taking breaks and socializing is important for your mental health. It can actually improve your focus when you do study.
That's true. I guess I need to be more intentional about scheduling both.
Exactly. And try to find activities that you enjoy and that don't take up too much time. A quick coffee with friends can be enough.
That's a good idea. I'll try to plan something small with my friends this week. Thanks.
You're welcome. It's all about finding a balance that works for you.
Comparing note-taking styles. I'm trying to improve my note-taking. What style do you usually use?
I'm a big fan of the Cornell method. The summary section at the bottom is really helpful for review.
Cornell? I've seen that. I usually just write everything down linearly, which gets messy.
Yeah, linear can be overwhelming. Have you tried mind mapping? It's good for visual learners.
Mind mapping sounds interesting. I'll look into it. What about highlighting? Do you highlight your notes?
I do, but sparingly. Too much highlighting, and everything just blends together.
That's true. I'll try experimenting with Cornell and mind mapping. Thanks for the tips.
Sure thing. Experiment and find what works best for you.
Dealing with distractions.
I can't seem to focus here. Everyone is talking, and I can hear keyboard clicks everywhere.
I know it can be tough. Have you tried using noise-canceling headphones?
I have some, but even then, it's hard to completely block everything out.
Maybe try moving to a different section of the library. The upper floors are usually quieter.
Good idea. I'll check out the third floor. Or maybe the individual study carols?
The carols are great if you can snag one. Earplugs can also help in a pinch.
I'll try the third floor first, and then the carols. Thanks for the suggestions.
No problem. I hope you find a quiet spot.
Evaluating resource credibility.
I found this website with some information for my paper, but I'm not sure if it's credible.
What's the website? Who runs it? Is it a reputable organization?
It's called sustainablelivingnow.com. I don't recognize the name.
Check the About Us section. See who the authors are and what their credentials are. Are they experts in the field?
Okay, I'll look for that. What else should I consider?
Look for bias. Does the website have a clear agenda? Are they trying to sell something? Also, check the date of publication. Is the information current?
Good points. I'll definitely check for bias and the publication date. Thanks for the tips.
No problem. It's always better to be cautious when evaluating online sources.
Finding relevant sources.
I'm having trouble finding good sources for my research paper on sustainable agriculture.
Have you tried using the library's databases? JSTOR and ProQuest are usually good for academic articles.
I've used JSTOR, but I'm not sure how to narrow down my search. There are so many results.
Try using more specific keywords and filters. You can also filter by publication date to get the most recent research.
That's a good point. I'll try adding keywords like organic farming and environmental impact.
Exactly. Also, don't forget to check the bibliographies of the articles you find. They can lead you to other relevant sources.
Oh, that's a smart idea. I hadn't thought of that. Thanks.
No problem. Good luck with your research.
Overcoming writer's block.
Ugh, I'm completely stuck. This essay is due next week, and I haven't written a single word.
Writer's block, huh? Been there. Have you tried free writing? Just write whatever comes to mind, even if it's nonsense.
Free writing? I've heard of it, but does it actually work?
It can. It helps get the creative juices flowing. Or try outlining your main points first.
Outlining is a good idea. I'll give that a shot. Thanks.
No problem. Also, sometimes stepping away from it for a bit helps. Go for a walk, clear your head.
Good point. Maybe I'll grab a coffee and then try outlining. Hopefully, that'll do the trick.
Good luck. You've got this.
Procrastination solutions. I'm supposed to be studying, but I keep getting distracted. I'm such a procrastinator.
We all do it sometimes. Have you tried the Pomodoro technique? 25 minutes of focused work, then a 5-minute break.
Pomodoro? I've heard of it, but I'm not sure I can stay focused for 25 minutes straight.
Start with shorter intervals, maybe 15 minutes. The key is to eliminate distractions during those periods.
Okay, I'll try that. What about when I just feel completely unmotivated?
Try breaking down your tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. It makes the overall task seem less daunting.
That's a good idea. I'll try breaking my reading assignment into smaller sections. Thanks.
You're welcome. And remember, even a little bit of progress is better than none.
Seeking clarification on assignments.
I'm really confused about this assignment. I'm not sure what the professor is looking for.
Have you checked the assignment rubric? Sometimes that clarifies things.
I did, but it's still a bit vague. I think I need to ask for clarification.
Definitely. Go to office hours or send the professor an email. It's better to ask than to guess and get it wrong.
I'm a little nervous about asking. I don't want to seem stupid.
Don't worry about it. Professors are there to help you learn. They appreciate students who are engaged and proactive.
Okay, you're right. I'll draft an email tonight. Thanks for the encouragement.
No problem. Good luck.
Textbook affordability.
These textbooks are so expensive. I can't believe how much they cost.
I know, it's ridiculous. Have you tried looking for used copies online or at the bookstore?
I checked the bookstore, but they're still pretty pricey. Where online do you usually look?
Amazon and Chegg are good options. You can also try searching for digital versions. Sometimes they're cheaper.
Digital versions are a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. What about renting textbooks?
Renting can be a good option, especially if you only need the book for one semester. Just make sure you return it on time.
Okay, I'll check out Amazon, Chegg, and the digital versions. Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. Hopefully, you can find some affordable options.
Understanding academic journals.
I'm trying to understand how academic journals work. What makes them different from regular magazines?
Academic journals are peer-reviewed, meaning other experts in the field have evaluated the research before it's published.
Peer-reviewed? So it's supposed to be more reliable?
Exactly. They're generally considered more credible sources for academic research. They also usually have a very specific focus.
Okay, that makes sense. How do I know if a journal is reputable?
You can look for the journal's impact factor, which is a measure of how often its articles are cited. High impact factors usually indicate higher quality.
Impact factor, got it. Is there anything else I should look for?
Check who the editors are and their affiliations. Also, look for journals that are indexed in reputable databases like Scopus or Web of Science.
Accessing dissertations and theses.
I need to find some dissertations related to my research topic. Where do I even start?
Our library has a database specifically for dissertations and theses. It's called ProQuest Dissertations and Theses Global.
ProQuest, okay. Can I access it from home?
Yes, you can access it remotely using your university login credentials.
Great. Are all the dissertations available for download?
Not always. Some might only be available in print or require you to request a copy through interlibrary loan.
Interlibrary loan again. I should really familiarize myself with that process.
Evaluating website credibility. I found some interesting information on a website, but I'm not sure if it's reliable. How do you evaluate website credibility?
Start by checking the author's credentials and affiliations. Is it a reputable organization or an individual with expertise in the field?
Okay, and what about the website itself?
Look for signs of professionalism, like clear contact information, a privacy policy, and an About Us page. Also, check the publication date.
A recent publication date is important, right?
Yes, especially for topics that change quickly, and cross-reference the information with other reliable sources.
Cross-referencing, that's a good idea. I'll keep all of that in mind. Thanks.
Finding rare books.
I need to find a rare book for my history paper, but I'm not sure how to even begin looking for it.
The library's rare book collection is usually separate. You'll need to check the Special Collections catalog, not the regular one.
Special Collections catalog, got it. Are there any special rules for handling rare books?
Definitely. You'll likely need to wear gloves and handle them with extreme care. No food or drinks are allowed in the reading room.
Gloves, wow, that sounds serious. Is there a limit to how long I can view a book?
That depends on the book's condition and demand. You might need to make an appointment with the Special Collections librarian.
An appointment? Okay, this is more involved than I thought. Thanks for the heads up.
Navigating the archives.
Have you ever tried using the library's archive section? I'm not sure where to start.
Yeah, it can be a bit daunting. First, check the archive's online catalog to see what they have related to your topic.
Okay, and then what? Do I just ask for whatever I find?
Not exactly. You'll usually need to fill out a request form detailing what you want to see and your research purpose.
Is there a limit to how many items I can request at once?
Typically, yes. Check the archive's policy, but it's usually a small number to ensure preservation and access for everyone.
Good to know. I'll check the guidelines before heading over there.
Understanding fair use guidelines.
I'm confused about fair use. How much of a copyrighted work can I use in my paper without permission?
Fair use is a complex legal doctrine. It depends on several factors, like the purpose and character of your use, the nature of the copyrighted work, the amount used, and the effect on the market value.
That sounds like a lot to consider. Is there a general rule of thumb?
Not really. It's a case-by-case basis. The library has resources on fair use, including guides and workshops.
So, It's best to err on the side of caution and seek permission if I'm unsure.
Absolutely. Getting permission is always the safest route. Or use materials licensed under Creative Commons.
Creative Commons licenses. I'll look into those too. Thanks for clarifying.
Understanding interlibrary loan.
I need a book that our library doesn't have. I think I heard something about getting books from other libraries.
Yes, that's called interlibrary loan. You can request books and articles from other libraries through our library's website.
How long does it usually take to get a book through IL?
It depends on the lending library and shipping times, but usually it takes about 1 to 2 weeks.
Is there a cost associated with IL?
Usually, it's free for students and faculty, but check the library's ILL policy to be sure.
Okay, good to know. I'll look into that. Thanks.
Understanding open access resources.
I've been hearing about open access resources. What exactly are they?
Open access resources are research materials available online for free without any subscription fees or paywalls.
So anyone can access them? That sounds amazing.
Exactly. They're usually published under a Creative Commons license, allowing for reuse with proper attribution.
Where can I find these open access resources?
Our library website has a dedicated section for open access journals and databases. Also, search engines like DOAJ are helpful.
DOAJ? I'll check that out. This could save me a lot of money on journal articles.
Definitely. Just remember to always evaluate the credibility of the source, even if it's open access.
Understanding plagiarism policies.
I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing something in my research paper.
It's a valid concern. Make sure you understand the university's plagiarism policy thoroughly.
Where can I find that?
It's usually on the university website or in the student handbook. The library also offers workshops on academic integrity.
Workshops? That sounds helpful. What do they cover?
They explain different types of plagiarism, proper citation methods, and how to paraphrase effectively.
I definitely need to attend one of those. Paraphrasing is where I struggle the most.
Yeah, it's more than just changing a few words. You need to rephrase the idea in your own voice.
Using citation management software.
I'm spending way too much time formatting citations. Is there an easier way?
Definitely. Use citation management software like Zotero or Mendeley. They automate the process.
Zotero? I've heard of that. How does it work?
You can import citations directly from databases and websites, organize them, and then generate bibliographies in various styles.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Is it difficult to learn?
There's a bit of a learning curve, but the library offers workshops on using Zotero. They're really helpful.
I'll sign up for a workshop then. Thanks for the tip. Using subject-specific databases.
I'm struggling to find relevant articles for my sociology paper. I'm using the general database, but it's overwhelming.
You should try using subject-specific databases. They're much more targeted.
Subject-specific? Like what?
For sociology, try Sociological Abstracts or Social Sciences Citation Index. The library website lists databases by subject.
Oh, I see. So they're curated for specific disciplines?
Exactly. They have better indexing and more relevant search filters for your field.
That makes so much sense. I'll switch to Sociological Abstracts right away. Thanks. Book recommendation exchange.
I'm looking for something new to read. Any recommendations?
What kind of books do you usually enjoy?
I like historical fiction and biographies mostly.
Oh, then you might like The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. It's set during World War II.
That sounds interesting. Have you read anything good lately?
I just finished Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari. It's a fascinating look at the history of humankind.
I've heard of that one. I'll add it to my list. Thanks.
You're welcome. Happy reading.
Discussing library accessibility features. I'm helping a friend with a disability navigate the library. What kind of accessibility features are available?
They have ramps and elevators for wheelchair access and adjustable height desks in some areas.
That's good. What about for visually impaired students?
They have screen readers on some of the computers and a collection of large print books.
Are there any quiet rooms for students with sensory sensitivities?
Yes, there's a designated quiet room on the 3rd floor. You can ask at the information desk for access.
That's really helpful. Thanks for the information.
You're welcome. The library staff is always happy to assist with accessibility needs.
Discussing library etiquette.
I feel bad. I think I've been too loud. What's the general etiquette in here?
Generally, it's best to keep your voice down, especially in the quiet zones. Headphones are a good idea for music.
Right, makes sense. What about phone calls?
Definitely take those outside. And try to silence your phone, too.
Good to know. Anything else I should be aware of?
Just be mindful of others. Don't take up too much space with your stuff. And clean up after yourself.
Got it. Thanks for the reminder.
No problem. We've all been there. Discussing the library's role in community engagement.
I saw a flyer for a community event at the library. What's that about? The library hosts a lot of community programs, like book clubs, workshops, and author talks. That's cool. I didn't realize they did so much more than just lending books. Yeah, they're a real hub for the community. They also offer free computer classes and job search assistance. That's amazing! It's great to see them providing so many valuable resources. Definitely. They also partner with local organizations to offer even more services. Might have to check out some of those events. Thanks for letting me know. You should. It's a great way to connect with people and learn something new.
Discussing the pros and cons of group study.
Thinking about forming a study group for our history class. What do you think?
It could be helpful. You can bounce ideas off each other and fill in knowledge gaps.
Yeah, but I'm also worried about getting distracted or off topic.
That's a valid concern. It's important to set clear goals and stay focused, maybe assign roles.
Roles? Like what?
Like a facilitator to keep things on track, a note taker, and someone to ask questions.
That's a good idea. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks.
Sure thing. Just make sure everyone is committed to contributing.
Evaluating the library's physical book condition.
This book is falling apart. Look at this binding.
Oh wow, yeah, that's pretty rough. You should probably bring it to the circulation desk.
What will they do with it?
They'll either repair it if possible, or mark it for replacement if it's too damaged.
Should I still check it out?
I wouldn't. It might fall apart completely while you have it, and you could be held responsible.
Good point. I'll just grab a different copy.
Smart move. Hopefully they'll get that one fixed up soon.
Finding a specific section.
Excuse me, do you know where I can find the section on 20th century American literature?
Sure, it's on the second floor in the humanities section. Just head up the main stairs and turn left.
Okay, great. Is it clearly marked?
Yes, there are signs above each section. Look for American literature and then the date ranges.
Perfect. Thanks so much for your help.
No problem at all. Good luck with your research.
I appreciate it.
Understanding library membership.
Hey, I'm new here. How do I get a library card?
It's pretty easy. You just need to go to the circulation desk with some photo ID and proof of address.
Proof of address? Like what?
A utility bill or a bank statement usually works.
Okay, that's not too bad. Is there a fee?
Nope, it's free for residents and students. Just fill out the application form and you're good to go.
Awesome. Thanks for the info.
You're welcome. Glad I could help.
Understanding library security measures.
I noticed they check bags at the entrance now. Is there a reason for the increased security?
Yeah, they've had a few incidents of theft and vandalism recently, so they're trying to prevent it.
Oh, that's a shame. Does that mean we can't bring food or drinks in anymore?
You can, but they might ask you to open your containers to check what's inside.
I see. Are there any other security measures I should be aware of?
There are security cameras throughout the library and security guards patrolling regularly.
Good to know. It's reassuring to know they're taking security seriously.
Definitely. It makes the library a safer and more comfortable place to study.
Understanding plagiarism and avoiding it.
I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing in my research paper.
It's definitely something to be careful about. The key is to properly cite your sources.
I know, but I still get confused about when to cite something.
If you're directly quoting someone, or even paraphrasing their ideas, you need to cite them.
Okay, that makes sense. What about common knowledge?
Common knowledge doesn't need to be cited, but it's better to be safe than sorry. If you're unsure, cite it.
That's good advice. Thanks for clarifying.
No problem. Just use a citation manager. It helps a lot.
Dealing with distracting library patrons.
Excuse me, but could you please keep your voice down? I'm trying to study.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was being that loud.
It's okay, it happens. But it's really distracting when I'm trying to concentrate.
I understand. I'll definitely be more mindful. Thanks for letting me know.
No problem. I appreciate it.
Is there anything else I can do to help?
No, that's all. Thanks again.
Discussing study playlist preferences.
What kind of music do you listen to when you're studying?
Usually something instrumental, like classical or ambient music. Vocals distract me.
Interesting. I actually prefer lo-fi beats. They're repetitive, but not too distracting.
I've tried lo-fi, but it makes me sleepy after a while. Classical keeps me alert.
Maybe I should give classical another try. Any recommendations?
Debussy is good for focus, and Vivaldi is great for energy. Experiment and see what works.
I will. Thanks for the tips. Maybe we can share playlists sometime.
Discussing the library's accessibility features.
Do you know if the library has many accessibility features for students with disabilities?
I believe so. I know they have ramps and elevators for wheelchair access.
That's good. What about assistive technology, like screen readers or text-to-speech software?
I think they have some computers with that kind of software in the adaptive technology lab.
Okay, that's helpful. Is there a quiet study room for students with sensory sensitivities?
I'm not sure about that specifically, but it's worth asking the library staff. They would know for sure.
You're right. I'll ask them. Thanks for the information. Discussing the library's community events. Did you see the library is hosting a poetry slam next week?
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I'm not much of a poetry person, but that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm thinking of going. They also have a book club meeting later this month.
What book are they reading?
I think it's The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna.
I've heard good things about that book. Maybe I'll join the book club this time.
That would be great. It's a good way to meet new people and discuss interesting books.
Finding a specific map in the Atlas collection.
Hey, do you know where the Atlas collection is located?
I think it's on the second floor, near the history section.
Okay, thanks. I need to find a map of ancient Rome for my history project.
You might want to ask the librarian at the reference desk. They can probably point you to the right atlas.
Good idea. I'll do that. It's a pretty specific request.
Yeah, atlases can be tricky. Good luck with your project.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Finding information on local history.
I'm doing a project on the history of our town. Do you know if the library has a local history section?
Definitely. It's usually in a special section, often near the reference desk or archives.
Okay, I'll look for it. What kind of materials would they have?
Probably old newspapers, photographs, city directories, and maybe even some oral history interviews.
Wow, that sounds really interesting. I hope they have information on the old mill.
They probably do. Local history sections are usually pretty comprehensive. Good luck with your research.
Thanks. I'm excited to explore it.
Navigating the library's website redesign.
This library website redesign is throwing me off. I can't find anything.
I know, it's different. Have you tried using the search bar at the top? It seems to be pretty effective.
Yeah, but I'm looking for the database list. Where did they hide that?
I think it's under Research Tools or Resources. Check there.
Okay, I see it. Thanks. It's so much less intuitive than before.
Tell me about it. I'm sure we'll get used to it eventually. They probably had a reason for the change.
Hopefully a good one. Now, to find the psychology journals. Requesting a book from another branch.
I really need this book for my research, but it's only available at the downtown branch.
You can probably request it to be sent here through interlibrary loan.
Really? How do I do that?
Go to the library website, log into your account, and search for the book. There should be an option to request it.
Okay, I see it. It says request item. Great.
Yeah, it's a super convenient service. It usually takes a few days for the book to arrive.
Perfect. Thanks so much for the tip.
Understanding the library's COVID-19 protocols.
Are we still required to wear masks in the library?
I think so. I saw a sign at the entrance saying masks are mandatory.
Okay, good to know. What about social distancing?
They've spaced out the seating a bit, but it's not strictly enforced, I don't think.
Right. Do you know if they're still limiting the number of people allowed inside?
I haven't heard anything about that recently, so I think that restriction might be lifted.
Okay, makes sense. Thanks for the info.
Using the library's language learning software.
Have you ever used the language learning software in the library's computer lab?
No, I haven't. What kind of languages do they offer?
I think they have a pretty wide range, including Spanish, French, German, and even some less common ones.
That's great. I've been wanting to improve my Spanish. Is it easy to use?
Yeah, it's pretty user-friendly. It has interactive lessons and exercises.
I'll definitely check it out. Thanks for letting me know about it.
No problem. Good luck with your Spanish. Accessing ebooks remotely.
I'm trying to access an ebook from home, but it's asking for a login. What do I do?
You need to log in with your university or library card credentials, the same ones you use for the library website.
I tried that, but it's still not working. Maybe I'm using the wrong link?
Make sure you're accessing it through the library's website, not directly from the publisher's site. There's usually a dedicated ebook section.
Ah, I see. I'll try that. Thanks.
No problem. If you're still having trouble, contact the library's IT support. They can help troubleshoot.
Great. I appreciate the advice.
Asking for research help.
I'm completely stuck on my research project. Is there someone here who can help me?
Absolutely. We have research librarians who specialize in different subjects. They can help you find sources and develop your research strategy.
Where can I find them?
They're usually at the reference desk, or you can book an appointment online. Look for signs that say research help.
Okay, I'll head over there. Should I bring my assignment details with me?
Yes, definitely bring your assignment instructions and any notes you've already taken. It will help them understand what you need.
Great, thanks so much for the advice. Lost and found inquiry.
Excuse me, I think I might have left my calculator here earlier. Do you have a lost and found?
Yes, it's just over by the information desk. I can take you there.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
No problem. What does it look like?
It's a silver Texas Instruments one. A pretty common model.
Okay, let's go check. Hopefully someone turned it in.
Fingers crossed. I need it for my exam tomorrow.
Navigating the reference section.
Hey, I'm looking for some background information on the French Revolution. Any idea where to start?
Definitely check the reference section. They have encyclopedias, dictionaries, and other helpful resources.
Where is that exactly?
It's usually near the librarian's desk, marked with signs. Look for shelves with ref on them.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out. Are those books borrowable?
Generally, reference books are for in-library use only, but you can photocopy pages if needed.
Good to know. Thanks for the tip.
Overcoming information overload.
I'm finding so much information on my topic that I'm feeling overwhelmed. Any tips on how to narrow it down?
Try using more specific keywords and filters in your searches. Also, focus on the most reputable and relevant sources.
How do I know which sources are reputable?
Look for peer-reviewed articles, academic journals, and books from established publishers. Check the author's credentials and the publication date.
That makes sense. Should I just ignore anything that's not peer-reviewed?
Not necessarily, but be more critical of those sources. Consider their bias and accuracy before relying on them.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the advice.
Suggesting book purchases.
I really need a specific book for my research, but the library doesn't have it. Can I suggest they buy it?
Absolutely. Most libraries have a form on their website or a physical suggestion box for new acquisitions.
Oh, that's great. Where on the website would I find that?
Look for a section like Suggestions or Recommend a Purchase under the Services or About Us tab.
I'll look for it. Is there anything specific I need to include in my suggestion?
Definitely include the title, author, ISBN, and a brief explanation of why it would be a valuable addition to the collection.
Okay, I'll make sure to include all that. Thanks for the help.
Understanding library event schedules. Do you know if the library hosts any workshops or events?
Yeah, they usually have a calendar posted on their website and sometimes flyers around the library.
I'll check the website. Are they usually free?
Most of them are, especially the workshops on research skills or citation management.
That's good to know. I'm interested in improving my research skills.
Keep an eye out. They also sometimes have author talks or book clubs.
Sounds interesting. I'll definitely check it out. Thanks. Understanding loan periods.
How long can I usually borrow books for here?
It depends on the type of book and your borrower's status. Regular books are usually 2 to 3 weeks.
And what about DVDs or other media?
Those are usually shorter, maybe a week or two. And reserve materials might be even shorter, like a few hours or overnight.
Okay, that makes sense. Where can I find the exact loan period for a specific item?
It's usually printed on the checkout slip, or you can check your account online.
Got it, thanks.
Using the library's computer labs.
Are the computers in the library labs free to use for students?
Yes, usually. You just need your student ID or library card to log in.
Are they always crowded?
It depends on the time of day and the proximity to exams. Mornings are usually less busy.
Good to know. Do they have specific software installed?
Some labs have specialized software for graphic design or data analysis, but it varies. Check the lab's information board.
Okay. Thanks for the tip.
Using the library's study carrels.
Are these study carrels first come, first served, or do you have to reserve them?
It depends on the library. Here, they're first come, first served. Just grab one that's empty.
Perfect. I need a quiet space to focus.
Yeah, they're great for that. Just be mindful of the noise level.
Definitely. Do they have power outlets?
Most of them do, but it's worth checking before you settle in.
Will do. Thanks for the info.
Accessing online learning platforms.
Is there a quiet place where I can join my online class?
Some libraries have designated areas for online learning. They often have headphones available too.
Really? I didn't know that. I always have to go home.
Check with the front desk, they can tell you where those spots are located. The soundproofing is pretty good.
That would be perfect. I can finally focus without distractions.
Plus, the library Wi-Fi is usually reliable, which is a bonus.
Great point. I'll ask about it now. Thanks for the tip.
Dealing with noise distractions.
Excuse me, would you mind keeping it down a little? I'm trying to concentrate.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I was being that loud.
It's all right. It's just a bit distracting when I'm trying to read. Thanks for understanding.
No problem at all. I'll try to be more mindful of my volume. Maybe I should move to a different area.
That's very considerate of you. It would be great if you could.
I will. Again, I apologize for the disruption.
Thanks again.
Deciphering call numbers.
I'm having trouble finding this book. The call number is QA276A1B7, but I can't locate it on the shelves.
Okay, let's break it down. QA usually refers to mathematics. Are you in the right section?
I think so. I'm in the mathematics section, but the numbers seem off.
Look for the QA section first, then within that, find the shelves with 276. The decimal point is important.
Right, the decimal. I always forget that. What about the A1B7 part?
That usually indicates the author's last name and sometimes the edition. It will be in alphabetical and numerical order after the numbers.
Okay, so first QA, then 276, then A1B7. I think I understand now, thanks.
No problem. Let me know if you still can't find it.
Donating books to the library.
I have a bunch of books I don't need anymore. Do you know if the library accepts donations?
They usually do, but it's best to check their donation policy first.
What kind of books do they typically accept?
They're usually looking for books in good condition that are relevant to their collection. No textbooks generally.
Okay, that makes sense. Where would I drop them off?
There's usually a designated donation area near the entrance or at the circulation desk.
Great. I'll look for that. Thanks for the info.
Exploring special collections.
Have you ever checked out the special collections in this library? Special collections? What kind of stuff is in there? They have rare books, manuscripts, historical documents, and things like that. It's pretty cool. Wow, that sounds interesting. Is it difficult to access? You usually need to make an appointment and show ID. There are specific rules to protect the materials. That makes sense. I might have to look into that for my history project. Definitely worth checking out if you need primary sources.
Understanding copyright restrictions.
I want to scan this chapter for my notes, but I'm not sure about copyright.
Yeah, it's tricky. Generally, you can copy a small portion for personal study.
So the whole book is a no-go?
Definitely not. That would be a copyright violation. Fair use allows for limited copying.
Is there a specific percentage or page limit?
It varies, but a chapter or a few articles from a journal is usually acceptable. Check the library's policy for more details.
Okay, I'll check the policy. Thanks for the heads up.
Understanding library fines and fees.
I think I have some overdue books. How much are the late fees?
It varies depending on the library and the type of material. Usually it's a small fee per day per item.
Is there a maximum fine amount?
Yes, there's usually a cap on how much you can be charged. Check the library's website for the exact details.
Can I pay the fines online?
Most libraries allow you to pay online through their website. You can also pay in person at the circulation desk.
Okay, good to know. I'll check my account and pay them off. Thanks.
Using the library's makerspace.
I heard this library has a makerspace. What kind of equipment do they have?
It depends on the library, but often they have 3D printers, laser cutters, sewing machines, and electronics workstations.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Is it free to use?
Usually, it's free for library members, but there might be fees for materials like filament for the 3D printer.
Do you need to take a class before you can use the equipment?
Often, yes. They want to make sure you know how to use everything safely and effectively.
That's a good idea. I'll have to check out the schedule for those classes.
Utilizing subject librarians.
I'm struggling to find relevant articles for my thesis. Any suggestions?
Have you considered talking to the subject librarian? They specialize in specific fields.
Subject librarian? I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, they're experts in finding resources for your topic. They can save you a lot of time.
Where would I find them?
Usually the library website lists them by subject. You can email or schedule an appointment.
That's fantastic. I'll look into it right away. Thanks.
Volunteering at the library.
I'm looking for volunteer opportunities. Do you know if the library needs any help? They often do. They might need help shelving books, assisting with programs, or tutoring. That sounds interesting. How would I apply? Check the library's website or ask at the information desk. They usually have an application process. Are there age restrictions for volunteering? It depends on the type of volunteer work, but some positions might be open to teenagers as well. Okay, I'll definitely look into that. Thanks.
Balancing study with other commitments.
I'm finding it impossible to balance studying with my part-time job and social life.
Time management is key. Have you tried creating a schedule?
I have, but I never stick to it.
Maybe you're being too ambitious. Start small, with realistic goals for each day.
That's a good point. I tend to try to cram everything in at once.
Also, don't be afraid to say no to social events sometimes. Your studies are important.
Yeah, I need to learn to prioritize. Thanks for the advice.
No problem. It's a struggle for everyone.
Evaluating source credibility.
I'm not sure if this website is a reliable source for my paper. It looks a bit amateurish.
Yeah, you have to be careful. Check the author's credentials and the website's About Us section.
Good point. I didn't even think about the author. Is there anything else I should look for?
Definitely look for citations and a bibliography, and see if it's peer-reviewed if possible.
Okay, citations and peer review. That makes sense. Thanks.
No problem. Also, consider the domain .org and .edu are often more reliable than .com.
Right, I'll keep that in mind. This is really helpful.
Evaluating the usefulness of different resources.
I found this article online, but it seems a bit biased.
Yeah, you have to be careful. What's the source?
It's from a blog, and it seems to be advocating for a specific viewpoint.
Blogs can be useful for opinions, but for facts, you should stick to peer-reviewed journals or reputable news sources.
That makes sense. So should I just ignore this article?
Not necessarily. You can use it as one perspective, but don't rely on it as your primary source of information.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Thanks.
Finding alternative resources.
I can't find the book I need for my assignment. It's checked out.
Have you looked for it as an ebook? The library often has digital versions.
I haven't. I didn't even think of that. How do I find ebooks?
Just search for the book title in the library catalog. If there's an ebook, it'll show up as an option.
Okay, I'll try that right now. Thanks.
No problem. You could also try searching for relevant articles on the topic in the databases.
Good point. I should broaden my search. Thanks again.
Managing study time effectively.
I'm feeling overwhelmed with all the reading. I can't seem to focus for long enough.
Have you tried the Pomodoro technique? 25 minutes of focused work, then a 5-minute break.
Pomodoro. Never heard of it. Does it actually work?
It does for me. It breaks down the task into manageable chunks and prevents burnout.
I might give that a shot. What do you do during your breaks?
Get up, stretch, grab a drink, or just look away from the screen. Something to refresh your mind.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks for the tip.
Good luck. Let me know if it helps.
Navigating academic journals.
I'm trying to find a specific article in this journal, but it's so confusing.
What's confusing you? Is it the layout or the search function?
Both actually. The website is a mess and the search results are overwhelming.
Try using the advanced search options. You can usually narrow down your search by author, date, or keywords.
I didn't even know there was an advanced search. I'll look for it.
And if you know the DOI, Digital Object Identifier of the article, you can use that to find it directly.
DOI, I'll have to look that up. Thanks for the help.
Seeking help from library staff.
I'm completely lost. I can't find any information on my topic.
Have you tried asking a librarian? They're really helpful.
I feel a bit silly asking. I should be able to figure it out myself.
Don't. That's what they're there for. They can point you to the right resources.
Okay, maybe I will. Where can I find one?
There's usually a reference desk near the entrance, or you can ask at the main desk.
All right, I'll go check that out. Thanks for the encouragement.
Understanding different study techniques.
I'm struggling to remember all these formulas for my physics exam.
Have you tried using flashcards? They're great for memorization.
I've tried them, but they don't seem to work for me.
Maybe try teaching the concepts to someone else. Explaining it out loud can really solidify your understanding.
That's an interesting idea. I could try explaining it to my roommate.
Or even just talking to yourself. It sounds silly, but it can help.
I'll give it a shot. Thanks for the suggestions.
Understanding library regulations.
Do you know if we're allowed to bring food and drinks into the library?
I think it depends on the area. Some floors are designated quiet zones where food isn't allowed.
Oh, okay. I was planning on bringing a coffee and a sandwich.
You can probably have the coffee in the lobby or the cafe area. Check the signs. They usually have the rules posted.
Good idea. I'll look for the signs. Don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, and be mindful of noise levels too. Keep your phone on silent.
Definitely. Thanks for the reminder. Utilizing library workshops and training. I saw a poster for a library workshop on research skills. Do you think they're worth attending?
Definitely. I went to one on using a specific database, and it was incredibly helpful.
Really? I always thought I could figure things out on my own.
They can show you tips and tricks you wouldn't find otherwise. Plus, you can ask questions.
That's true. I could use some help with my research paper.
Check the library website for a schedule. They usually offer workshops on various topics.
I will. Thanks for letting me know. Creating a productive study environment.
I can't seem to focus, even in the quiet zone. I'm always distracted.
Maybe you need to personalize your study space a bit. What kind of environment helps you concentrate?
I'm not sure. I guess somewhere clean and organized?
Try decluttering your desk. Remove anything that's not essential for studying. And consider using noise-canceling headphones.
Headphones are a good idea. I get distracted by other people's conversations.
Also, think about lighting. Natural light is best, but if that's not possible, make sure you have a good desk lamp.
Okay, I'll try to create a more conducive environment. Thanks. Discussing different learning styles.
I'm struggling to absorb this information. I've read the chapter twice, but it's not sticking.
Maybe you're not learning in a way that suits you. Are you more of a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic learner?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I usually just try to read and memorize.
Try different things. For visual learning, maybe draw diagrams or use flashcards. For auditory, try recording yourself reading the notes and listening back.
That's a good idea. I've never thought about recording myself.
And for kinesthetic learning, try acting out concepts or using physical objects to represent ideas.
Wow, so many options. I'll experiment and see what works best. Thanks.
Discussing the benefits of study breaks.
I've been studying for hours straight. My brain feels fried.
You definitely need a break. Pushing yourself too hard is counterproductive.
I feel guilty taking breaks, like I should be studying every second.
Breaks actually improve your focus and retention. Even a 10-minute walk can make a difference.
Really? I thought I was being lazy.
Nope, it's about optimizing your study time, not maximizing it. Think of it as recharging your batteries.
Okay, I'll take a walk around the library then. Thanks.
Discussing the impact of diet on studying.
I've been living on coffee and energy drinks while studying. I feel jittery and exhausted.
That's not sustainable. What you eat has a huge impact on your energy levels and focus.
I know, but it's convenient. What should I be eating instead?
Focus on complex carbohydrates like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. They provide sustained energy.
So, less sugary snacks?
Exactly. And don't skip meals. Breakfast is especially important. And stay hydrated.
Okay, I'll try to pack some healthy snacks next time. Thanks for the advice.
Discussing the importance of sleep for studying. I pulled an all-nighter studying for this exam. I feel terrible.
That's the worst thing you could do. Sleep is crucial for learning and memory.
But I had so much to cover.
Your brain consolidates information while you sleep, so even if you study less, you'll retain more if you're well rested.
So, cramming all night is actually counterproductive?
Exactly. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, especially before an exam. It's like giving your brain a power-up.
Okay, I'll remember that for next time. Sleep first, study second.
Evaluating the effectiveness of different study apps.
Have you used any study apps that you'd recommend? I'm looking for something to help me focus.
I've tried a few. Forest is good for blocking distractions. You plant a virtual tree, and if you leave the app, it dies.
That sounds pretty effective. I'm easily distracted by my phone.
Yeah, it works for me. I've also used Anki for flashcards. It uses spaced repetition, which is great for long-term memorization.
Spaced repetition? What's that?
It shows you the flashcards you struggle with more frequently, helps you focus on what you need to learn.
Cool. I'll check those out. Thanks.
Overcoming procrastination at the library.
I'm supposed to be writing this essay, but I'm just staring at the screen. I always procrastinate, especially here.
I know the feeling. The library can feel overwhelming sometimes. Have you tried breaking the task down into smaller, more manageable chunks?
Not really. I just see the whole essay and get paralyzed.
Try setting a timer for, say, 25 minutes and just focus on brainstorming ideas for that time. No pressure to write perfectly.
That sounds less daunting. The Pomodoro technique, right?
Exactly. And take short breaks in between. Walk around, grab some water, anything to reset.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. We've all been there. Just remember, progress is better than perfection.
Sharing effective note-taking methods.
My notes are a mess. I can't make sense of them when I try to review.
Have you tried the Cornell method? It's helped me a lot.
Cornell? I've heard of it, but never really looked into it.
You divide your page into 3 sections: notes, cues, and summary. You take notes during the lecture, write keywords in the cues section, and then summarize the main points at the bottom.
That sounds organized. I usually just write down everything the professor says.
Another method is mind mapping. It's more visual and helps you connect ideas.
I'll check both out. Thanks for the advice.
Sharing tips for reading comprehension.
I can read the words, but I'm not really understanding what I'm reading. It's frustrating. Try the SQ3R method. It's a good way to improve comprehension. SQ3R! What's that? It stands for survey, question, read, recite, and review. First, you survey the text to get an overview. Then you formulate questions based on the headings. Okay, I see. Then what? Then you read actively, looking for answers to your questions. After each section, recite the main points in your own words. And finally, review the entire text. That sounds like a lot of work, but it might be worth it. Thanks.
Strategies for memorizing information. I have so many dates and names to memorize for my history exam. It's impossible.
Try using mnemonic devices. They can be really helpful.
Mnemonic devices like what?
Acronyms, rhymes, or even creating a story that links the information together. Anything that makes it more memorable.
So like Roy G. Biv for the colors of the rainbow?
Exactly. Or you could use the method of loci, where you associate information with familiar locations.
Interesting. I'll definitely try some of those. Thanks.
Dealing with resource scarcity.
Every copy of this textbook I need is checked out. What am I supposed to do?
Have you checked if it's available as an e-book?
I did, but the library only has a limited number of licenses, and they're all in use too.
Maybe try requesting it through interlibrary loan. It might take a few days, but it's worth a shot.
I'll look into that. Is there a limit to how many books I can request?
There usually is, but it's pretty generous. Check the library's website for the specific policy.
Okay, thanks. I'll also see if the professor has any copies on reserve.
Good idea. And don't forget to check online retailers for used copies. Sometimes you can find them for cheap.
Discussing the pros and cons of group study.
Do you think group study is effective?
It can be, but it depends on the group. It's good for bouncing ideas off each other.
True, but I worry about getting distracted.
That's definitely a risk. It's important to set clear goals and stay focused.
So it's only beneficial if everyone is prepared?
Pretty much. If one person is unprepared, it can drag everyone else down.
Good point. I'll keep that in mind.
Discussing the value of physical books. I'm starting to prefer physical books over ebooks. There's something about holding them.
I agree. I find it easier to focus when I'm not staring at a screen.
Plus, you can highlight and make notes in the margins.
True, although some e-readers allow that too. But it's just not the same.
And you can't beat the smell of old books.
Haha, definitely. Nostalgia points all around.
Yeah, but ebooks are lighter to carry around.
Explaining the Dewey Decimal System. I can never find anything in this library. It's like a maze.
Are you familiar with the Dewey Decimal System?
Not really. Should I be?
It's how the library organizes its nonfiction books. Each subject has a number, and the books are arranged numerically.
So if I know the number for my topic, I can find the books more easily?
Exactly. You can usually find the number on the library's website or by asking a librarian.
That's helpful. I'll look into it. Thanks. Seeking advice on library resources.
I'm completely lost. I don't even know where to start researching this topic.
Have you considered talking to a librarian? They're experts at finding information.
I feel a little intimidated, to be honest.
Don't be. They're super friendly and helpful. Just explain what you're looking for, and they'll point you in the right direction.
Do I just walk up to the desk and ask?
Yep, or some libraries have a Ask a Librarian online chat service too.
Okay, I'll try that. Thanks for the encouragement.
Sharing study tips. I'm struggling to retain information. Do you have any study tips?
Try the Pomodoro technique. Study for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break.
I've heard of that. Does it really work?
It does for me. It helps me stay focused and prevents burnout.
I'll give it a shot. Anything else?
Try teaching the material to someone else. Explaining it helps solidify your understanding.
Good idea. Thanks.
Understanding library etiquette.
Is it just me, or are people getting louder in here?
Yeah, it's a bit distracting. I think some people forget they're in a library.
I saw someone talking on their phone earlier. Is that even allowed?
Probably not in the quiet zones. Usually there are designated areas for phone calls and group work.
Maybe we should say something to the librarian.
Definitely. They're there to enforce the rules and make sure everyone can study in peace.
I'll go find one, thanks.
Understanding library membership.
So I just moved here. How do I get a library card?
It's usually pretty easy. You just need to show proof of residency.
Like a utility bill or something?
Exactly. Or a lease agreement. Check the library's website for the specific requirements.
And is it free?
For residents, usually yes. But there might be a small fee for non-residents.
Good to know. I'll head over there tomorrow.
Understanding plagiarism and avoiding it.
I'm really worried about accidentally plagiarizing in my paper.
It's a valid concern. Make sure you properly cite all your sources.
What if I paraphrase something? Do I still need to cite it?
Absolutely. Even if you put it in your own words, if the idea isn't yours, you need to give credit.
So when in doubt, cite it.
Exactly. It's better to be safe than sorry. Plus, there are plagiarism checkers online.
I'll definitely use one before I submit my paper. Thanks for the advice.
Using subject guides. Hey, I'm having trouble finding relevant resources for my history paper. Have you used the library's subject guides before?
Yeah, they're actually super helpful. They're curated lists of resources specific to different subjects.
Oh, that sounds perfect. Where do I find them?
Usually on the library website, under Research or Guides. They'll have links to databases, journals, and even recommended books.
That's great. I'll check it out. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. They can save you a lot of time searching through everything yourself.
I hope so. I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed right now.
Just remember to refine your search terms within those guides. It helps narrow down the results even further.
Dealing with distracting study partners. I tried studying with a friend yesterday, but we ended up talking about everything but our coursework.
That's a common problem. Some study partners are more distracting than helpful.
Yeah, I felt like I wasted the whole afternoon.
Maybe you could try setting some ground rules before you start studying together, like dedicating a specific amount of time to focused work.
That's a good idea. Like, okay, we'll study for an hour, then take a 15-minute break to chat.
Exactly. Or maybe find a different study partner who is more focused.
I think I'll try setting some rules first. Thanks.
Effective reading strategies.
I'm so behind on my reading. I just can't seem to get through it all.
Are you trying to read every word? Sometimes skimming is more efficient.
Skimming? I thought you had to read everything to understand it.
Not necessarily. Try reading the introduction, conclusion, and topic sentences of each paragraph first. Then go back and read the details if you need them.
That sounds like it could save a lot of time. What about highlighting?
Highlighting can be helpful, but don't overdo it. Only highlight the most important information, and take notes in the margins as you read.
Good advice. I tend to highlight everything. Evaluating the effectiveness of study sessions. I spent hours studying yesterday, but I still feel like I didn't learn anything.
Maybe you need to rethink your study methods. Are you actively engaging with the material?
I'm just reading my notes over and over again.
That's passive learning. Try testing yourself, explaining the concepts to someone else, or creating flashcards.
Testing myself sounds scary, but I guess it would show me what I actually know.
Exactly. And think about where you're studying. Are you easily distracted?
Definitely. My phone is always buzzing. I'll try turning it off next time.
Finding scholarly articles.
I'm having trouble finding good scholarly articles for my research paper. Google Scholar is giving me too much stuff.
Have you tried using the library's databases? They're much better for finding peer-reviewed articles.
I've heard of them, but I don't know how to use them.
The library website has a list of databases organized by subject. Try searching for ones related to your topic.
Okay, I see a few that look relevant. Any tips for searching within the databases?
Use keywords related to your research question and try using Boolean operators like and, or, and not to refine your search.
Boolean operators sounds complicated.
They're not too bad, and narrows your search or broadens it and not excludes certain terms.
Managing test anxiety. I get so anxious before tests that I can barely think straight.
Test anxiety is awful. Have you tried any relaxation techniques?
Like what?
Deep breathing exercises can help calm your nerves. Also, try visualizing yourself succeeding on the test.
I've heard of that, but I've never actually tried it.
It's worth a shot. And make sure you get enough sleep and eat a good meal before the test. Avoid caffeine overload.
That's probably where I go wrong. Thanks for the tips. Organizing study materials.
My notes are a mess. I can never find anything when I need it.
Have you tried using a binder with dividers for each subject?
I have a binder, but it's just a jumbled mess of papers.
Color coding can help too. Use different colors for different topics or types of information.
That's a good idea. I could use different colored highlighters for different themes.
Exactly. And try to review your notes regularly to keep the information fresh in your mind.
Okay, I'll try to be more organized. Thanks.
Procrastination prevention.
I'm supposed to be writing this essay, but I'm just staring at the screen.
Tell me about it. Procrastination is my arch nemesis. Have you tried the Pomodoro technique?
Pomodoro? Is that a kind of pasta?
Haha, no. It's a time management method. 25 minutes of focused work, then a 5-minute break. Helps break things down.
25 minutes sounds manageable. I might actually try that.
Give it a shot. Also, silencing notifications and closing unnecessary tabs helps me too.
Good point. I'll turn off my phone. Thanks for the tip.
No problem. We're all in this together.
Seeking peer tutoring.
I'm really struggling with calculus. I think I need some extra help.
Have you checked if the library offers peer tutoring?
Peer tutoring? I didn't know they offered that.
Yeah, usually upper-level students who have done well in the course tutor other students. It can be really helpful.
That sounds perfect. How do I sign up?
Check the library's website or ask at the information desk. They should have a schedule and registration information.
I'll do that right away. Thanks so much.
Textbook availability issues.
I can't believe the textbook for Professor Davies' class is completely checked out. I need it for next week.
Oh no, that's the worst. Did you check if there's an e-book version available through the library?
I didn't think of that. How do I check?
Go to the library website and search for the textbook title. If there's an e-book, it should show up in the results.
Okay, I'll try that now. What if there isn't an e-book?
You could try putting a hold on the physical book, or see if another library has a copy they can loan.
A hold is a good idea. Thanks for the help.
Understanding academic integrity.
I'm so confused about plagiarism. What exactly counts as plagiarism?
Basically, it's using someone else's work or ideas without giving them credit. Even unintentional copying is still plagiarism.
So, even if I rewrite something in my own words, I still need to cite the source?
Yes, absolutely. That's called paraphrasing, and you still need to cite it. Only common knowledge doesn't need a citation.
What about using online sources? Is it the same rules?
Exactly the same. Actually, it's even more important to cite online sources, because it's easier to copy and paste.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I'll be extra careful. Thanks for explaining.
Dealing with loud eaters. Someone is crunching chips like they're demolishing a building.
Seriously, this is supposed to be a quiet zone. I can't concentrate.
I know, right? Do you think we should say something?
I'm a little hesitant. Maybe we could try moving further away?
Good idea. Let's try the other side of the floor.
Hopefully it's quieter over there. If not, I might have to politely ask them to be mindful of others.
Agreed. A gentle reminder is all it might take.
Discovering hidden library gems.
Did you know the library has a collection of board games?
Seriously? I had no idea. Where are they located?
On the third floor, near the leisure reading section. It's a great way to de-stress during study breaks.
That sounds amazing. I'm definitely checking that out. Anything else I should know about?
They also have a pretty extensive graphic novel collection and a recording studio, if you're into that.
Wow, this library is full of surprises. Thanks for the tips.
No problem. Happy exploring. Finding a tutor at the library.
I'm really struggling with this calculus assignment. I wish I could find a tutor.
I think the library has a tutoring center. I've seen signs for it.
Really? Where is it located?
It's on the first floor near the reference desk. They offer tutoring for a variety of subjects.
That's amazing. Do you know if it's free?
Yes, it's a free service for students. You might need to sign up in advance, though.
Okay, I'll check it out tomorrow. Thanks so much.
Finding relevant course reserves.
Are you using any course reserves for that assignment?
I was planning to, but I'm having trouble finding them online.
You have to search by course name or professor's name in the online catalog.
Oh, I was just using keywords. That explains it. Thanks.
No problem. Also, some reserves are physical copies only, so you'll need to request them at the circulation desk.
Okay, good to know. I'll check both online and at the desk then.
Exactly. Good luck with your assignment.
Locating specialized software.
Do you know if the library computers have that statistical analysis software we need for our project?
I think so. I saw a list of available software on the library's website.
Oh, I didn't think to look there. Do you know which computers have it specifically?
Apparently, it's only installed in the computer lab on the second floor.
Okay, good to know. So we should head there then?
Yep. Just be aware that the lab can get pretty crowded, especially during peak hours.
Understood. We should get there early to grab a spot.
Planning a study schedule around library hours.
I'm trying to plan my study schedule for the week, but I'm not sure what the library hours are.
They're usually pretty consistent, but they do change during holidays and breaks.
Right, I always forget about that. Where can I find the most up-to-date schedule?
The library website has a calendar with all the adjusted hours. It's usually on the homepage.
Perfect. I'll check it out. Thanks.
Also, some areas of the library are open 24/7, like the silent study room.
That's a lifesaver. I might be spending a lot of time there this week.
The best time to visit.
Hey, have you noticed when the library is least crowded?
Definitely. It's a madhouse in the afternoons. I try to come first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Before noon seems best, but what about weekends?
Weekends are unpredictable. Saturdays are usually busy, but Sundays can be surprisingly quiet, especially in the evening.
Good to know. I might try Sunday evenings then. Thanks.
No problem. Just be aware that some services might have reduced hours on Sundays.
I'll check the schedule. Appreciate the heads up.
Understanding accessibility services.
I heard the library offers some accessibility services for students with disabilities. Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, they have a dedicated office. They can provide things like assistive technology and extended borrowing privileges.
That's really helpful. I know someone who could definitely benefit from that.
They also offer alternative formats for textbooks and other materials, like audiobooks or large print.
Wow, that's comprehensive. How does someone get in touch with them?
There's a link on the library's website, or they can just go to the Accessibility Services office directly. It's on the ground floor.
Great, I'll pass that information along, thanks. Understanding library's Wi-Fi policy.
Is the library Wi-Fi acting up for you too?
Yeah, it's been a bit spotty. Are you logged in with your student ID?
I thought the guest Wi-Fi was supposed to be good enough for basic browsing.
It is, but the student Wi-Fi is much faster and more reliable. Plus, you get access to some restricted resources.
Good point. I should probably switch over. Where do I find the login info?
It's on the library website under the technology section. You'll need your student ID and password.
Perfect, thanks. I'll get that sorted out now.
Using the library's Media Lab. I need to create a video presentation for my class, but I don't have the right equipment.
Have you considered using the library's Media Lab? They have cameras, microphones, and editing software.
I didn't even know they had one. Is it easy to use?
They offer workshops on how to use the equipment. Plus, there are always staff members available to help.
That sounds perfect. Do I need to reserve it in advance?
Yes, you can book a time slot online through the library's website. It's usually pretty busy, so book early.
Awesome, I'll do that right away. Thanks for the tip.